Okay, there we go. Almost didn't unmute myself. Welcome everyone. Cubecast episode 44. Good grief. It's happening. We're going. Creeping towards that 50, that big half century. Welcome along everyone in the chat. What up, Cracked? True, the goat of big cubes is here today. The big cube goat. We're continuing our mid-2010s OG Cuber arc. We spoke to Felix. We've got Kevin Hayes today. Efemica. I don't have a snack on my desk, but I am aware that a snack break will have to happen. That is a thing. Slightly late this morning. What's up, Symphonium? What's up, Yinzer Cuber? Hello, Josh. So here's the situation. Here's why we're late and why I'm hungry, all right? Because it was a school fundraiser this morning. The PTA were putting on a big old bacon roll cook-off. And, of course, it's winter here in New Zealand, okay? So it's cold. All the mums and dads are just like, hell yeah, let's get some bacon. That sounds great. Let's go. So me and the kids and Laura turned up at the school at 8:30. So we're about 15 minutes into service, and the queue was out the gate. And I was like, because I'm not on the PTA technically, I'm on the board, okay, everyone, I'm on the board. So I was like, and I've done a little bit of hospo in my life. I've done a bit of hospitality stuff, a bit of kitchen stuff, a bit of service industry stuff. And I was like, just sort of scoping the situation. I was like, I think they might be in the weeds here. I think they might be in the weeds. So I went up to the front of the queue, and sure enough, there's one poor mum from the PTA running the grill, just like looking super frazzled. Way more frazzled than the bacon. The bacon was not even nearly frazzled. And I was like, do you want me to help out? Is there anything I can do? And she was like, yes, get on the grill. Get on the grill right now. I was like, all right, okay. Let's go. Let's get this cooking. Literally and figuratively. And so I became bacon chef and basically cooked kilos of bacon on the grill until about 15 minutes ago. And then it was like, right, peace, I'm out. The kids were all turning up with bacon rolls in their hands when the bell rang this morning. So that's what was going on there. And the real tragedy is I didn't even get a bacon roll. Unbelievable. How selfless of me. The sacrifices we make, you know, in the running the dad life. I did become that cliche dad as well, accidentally. Just like, stand back, mums. Stand back, mums. I'll get the grill. I've got this. Give me the tongs. I'll get the grill. It wasn't my intention, but that's what ended up happening. We have big news, actually, that I want to share with you guys very, very quickly. You remember last week and in the videos, I was talking about G Fuel. I was in consideration for a sponsorship. Well, hey, guess what, everyone? It's official. Oh, dang it. It's official. Cubecast is now brought to you officially by G Fuel, and you can use my little code, which is not Cubecast, and I haven't had time because that was my plan this morning without cooking bacon. You can go to the link in the description and use the code that's at the end of that URL. What is it, like Mike something? Mike, like, I'm gonna have to meet this. Mike, use code. Come on, YouTube, give me the thing. Where's the description? There it is. I can't remember how the internet works. Yeah, you can use code Mike32314. Mike32314 at gfuel.com. And you can save. Now, I feel bad because Curious Nick, the legend, is in part responsible for this because Curious Nick, you went along and you were one of the people who bought the Rubik's 50th anniversary collector's box at full price. Which helped get it over the line. A few people went on and bought it, which was really cool. And now we've got it, everyone. We did it. You can now save. Nick, just put your hands over your ears for a second. Use my code and save 20%. Sorry, Nick. I owe you one, Nick. I owe you something. I haven't figured out what I can do for you yet. But you can save 20%, and I get a little 10% commission on that, okay? You can earn 20% discount now at G Fuel. using that code that I was gonna pin in the chat, wasn't I? I'm gonna pin that. I need to make a proper video, little announcement or whatever. And you can save 20%, and it's free shipping in America. If you want to grab that collector's box, the Warhammer, the G Fuel Rubik's 50th anniversary collector's box, and you can get that going. I got some on the way. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not exciting. That sounds like I'm boasting. I'm excited about it. But we love your work, Nick. Thank you so much for that. Now, of course, we're also brought to you by Speedcube Shop and Cubing Life Academy. If you want to learn cubes and go real fast at cubes, you can do that too. All that out of the way, welcome along, everyone. Lovely to have you here. And welcome to our guest this week. Where has it gone? There we go. It's only Kevin Hayes, everyone. Welcome along, Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate it. We're, like I say, continuing our mid-2010s icon arc. Kevin Hayes. You'll know him from the side of all the Yihen boxes a few years back. When I first bought the store, Kevin, it was everything Yihen had your face on it. Everything. I saw you everywhere.
I mean, I think that was pretty standard. Like, I don't know how standard it is now, but like Felix Motz and I being just like on every single box that
yeah, that was it. That was the trilogy.
Yeah.
That was exactly it. So Kevin, we're gonna talk about a few things today, everyone. So just so you know what's coming up, we are gonna talk about your career, the past, present, and future. We are gonna talk about World Championships, and we're going to talk about All-Stars as well. Noodle in the chat is demanding that you bring back Tuesday tips. So add that to your list.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little outdated, I will say.
But let's get into it. So, I had this panic with Felix a couple of weeks back, and I explained to you off air. There is no easy way to preempt this or to introduce this section, but I'm interested. What is life like for you post? I'm going to say post career, post like competitive career. You know, give us the rundown. I suppose because you said in some chats we had leading up to this. Yeah, you've mentioned it as like retiring from being a pro and then completely stepping back for a bit, to coming back into it. So yeah, just tell us the story of what's been happening since your competitive days.
Yeah, I mean, pro career essentially ended at that Vancouver comp after 2019 Worlds. I think like that was, I mean, it was time, and it was the plan after 2019 Worlds. I practiced was the last competition I practiced for with the intent to win, and I kind of only did that because I felt like I owed it to myself, because there's only, I mean, Nax will be, this Worlds is the third time ever someone's had a chance to go for, wait, no, Nax is up for 3. Never mind. No, like, there's only been twice ever where someone's been in a final going for a 4-peat. And so 2019 Worlds was my attempt, and so I definitely like felt like I needed to, and I was happy I did it. But yeah, so after that, I did one more comp, that Vancouver comp, where I just missed world record single, which is a bummer. But after that, I don't think I did a session for like 2.5 years.
Whoa.
Things worked out pretty well. Yeah, timing worked out pretty well with COVID, because 2019 ended, and I definitely didn't do anything in that fall. And then COVID started, and I didn't even do a session until it was so long, because I moved to Boston. Like, I mean, a lot of things happened in my life. Like, I got a dog. 2019, I stopped cubing. I got Gus. Fall of 2020, I moved to Boston. August 2021. I think I probably did my first session in winter of 2022, like January or February 2022. So like a full 2.5 years without, like, maybe I picked up the cube while I was working and did a couple random solves one off. I mean, that always happens, but like I legitimately didn't do a practice session for 2.5 years. And so
That's
that was
insane.
like super needed for me.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
It's fascinating that you did the exact opposite of most of the world because COVID was like a big boost for cubing. People were
yeah,
indoors, sales went up, people were looking for things to do, people were deep diving on YouTube, everyone's YouTube views were going up. But that just coincided with it when you were like, I need to chill for a bit. I need to take a break.
yeah. I mean, that's a pretty minor way of putting it, honestly. Because like, I mean, to put it bluntly, I hated cubing. It was awful. I like
Oh.
absolutely despised it. Like, it's a pretty common story with like, I don't think it's as common in the cubing community, but you see it with like a lot of high profile athletes where like it just becomes your entire life and there's so much pressure and like mostly from yourself, but just like external pressure as well to do well. Like you were so good and you tied like your entire self worth to like your competition results. And so like after Australia, like Australia, I went in knowing this was the last time I was gonna grind super hard with the intent to like win. Like I mean, I was in Australia to win. Like I was not there. I got second, but which was fine. But like I was not there saying like let's make sure we get second. It was like I'm here to win. Um, and like that was I'm glad I did it, but at the same time it was so different where like the previous times it was like I'm just practicing because I wanted to, and like a large part of that is I wanted to win, but I also wanted to practice. And this time like I just didn't want to practice at all, but like I just wanted to win, so I practiced anyways. And it's very you get a lot less returns for sure on your practice, but then like it is just mentally just like so taxing. And then after especially after that Vancouver comp where like I missed that world record, I was like, I hate this.
To
Like I need
give
to stop.
I think I'm missing some context on that. If it's not too painful to go into, what was the situation at the Vancouver comp with the world record?
Oh yeah, so this is after Worlds and Nats. There's like one more comp in Vancouver. I think there's one or two rounds of big cubes, I forget. But I'm still pretty good this time. Like Max is definitely better than me, but like world record is single is slow. It's 114.1. And I get a 114.2 or like it's like 113. I don't know. I get like a 114 flat and I miss world record by like a quarter of a second. And miss I like tried to recognize the COLL and then I didn't do it at all. And I like did a U4 on OLL. And I'm just like if I just didn't even bother and just did the normal OLL. But so that was kind of like that one really hurt because it would have been sick to have my last world record like be 6x6 single, which was the thing I was always good at. And like to know I would have like been for sure, obviously that was the last record. So but that happens. Do you go out the same way as you go in? 6x6 world record single fail.
Oh,
First notable moment in my career and the last one as well.
oh wow. Um, I can totally relate to what you're talking about in terms of like it being your whole identity, your whole thing. So my job before I moved to New Zealand, I was a drummer, I was a musician. And it was like I'd been a drummer since I was 12, and it had been, the best part of 25, 26 years. No, wait, that's not right. 15 or 16 years. That had been all I was. I was a drummer. And when I
Yeah.
moved here, I made a conscious decision to not do that anymore. And it was very, very taxing mentally because you go through a lot of like, well, if I'm not this, then what am I? Like,
Oh, completely.
so how did you navigate that? Like, you said you became a dog dad around then. Where did your identity like lead you, or where did you ever have you ever felt like you're not a cuber anymore? I mean, obviously you're back in it now, but at any point in that gap, did you feel like I'm done. I'm gonna be something else now. I'm gonna be Kevin the something. I don't know what you do for work, so I don't know what your sort of background is or training or whatever. But where did
Oh,
that take you?
yeah. Why do you software? I work at Google.
Oh, do you?
Pretty. It's not no complaints. Um, but yeah, like I guess I definitely didn't like think I wasn't the cuber at all. But like, I mean, it was kind of a big shift that like really started before 2019, where like it's interesting where because my identity wasn't even like being a cuber. It was like I wrapped up so much of my identity around like being the best. It was like I'm not because I was like, oh, it wasn't I don't just cube like I'm the best at it. And so
Yeah.
like you don't have as much control over that as you would like. And so like it's very, very rare to be like, okay, well I'm done being the best now, I'm gonna quit. Versus like Max just starts coming up and like his like improvement curve was so crazy that like it just happened like so fast. Like I was very I wasn't 5 by 5, me being bad at 5 by 5 was so fast. I remember because like I remember like in 2017 April, I was like ranked two and like third place in the world was like 4 seconds behind me, and I got fourth at Worlds that summer. And I
Mm.
was like, had like it was like 3 months, like it was crazy. So like 6 by 6 and seven was just it took like it wasn't quite as fast, but it was still like over the course of like six or 8 months, like okay, Max is just a little bit slower than me. Okay, he's the same speed as me, and now he's like so much faster than me, it's like not even possible to catch up. So it's like very quick. And so like that was kind of the first beginning of like having to like reconcile like my identity with like cubing and like what am I doing. And so like I think the hard cut after Australia to like stop was really helpful. Where like I felt more comfortable like after like coming back because NAC 22 was my first comp back, and like I felt like much more stable, especially because I moved to Boston. I had a lot of close friends there, and like I just been doing a lot more. I was very stable in my career, my life, like my social and like relationships. That like it felt a lot more comfortable to be like, okay, I'm gonna cube, but like it's not this all-encompassing thing that's like the only thing I do. Like I stopped like meeting people and like people just instantly being like, well, this is the cube guy, because like that was my thing for like
Mm.
over a decade. And so like that became less of it became more of like a fun fact on my personality versus like the entire identity over like those 2.5 years. And so I guess I just like became a lot more comfortable like with the rest of my life as a whole without cubing. Like even if I didn't cube at all, which I hadn't, like I felt good versus like it was kind of mandatory, or else I felt like I didn't know why I was special or why like my life mattered.
Yeah. It's such a big thing to wrestle with. Such a huge thing.
Oh yeah, it's I mean it's pretty I feel like it's standard if we're not standard, but like it's pretty relatable to anyone who like especially when you start like when I started I was a freshman in high school and I wasn't very social and didn't have a lot of friends, and like I was still figuring out how to like interact and stuff, and that was like kind of my even though it may not have been as necessary as I thought, but like my big hook into like kind of becoming like it was just as I like became more social and like kind of under like got friends and like got more footing like with my life, like cubing was kind of like a catalyst for that. And so like I kind of like really latched onto that a little more than I probably should have, but that
Mm.
happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. So forgive me, are you in Boston now, or are you in
No, I live in Seattle, 10 minutes from the venue for Worlds.
Oh, snap.
15,
Okay, nice.
15 is traffic, but you know.
That's great. Um, yeah, no, Chang was saying Boston represent in the chat there. So you're from Canada originally?
I was born in Canada, but I
Okay.
grew up in Seattle.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay.
So
Cool. Nearly. I don't want to mess that up. Okay. So yeah, you're just still on your sort of your pro arc. I did want to kind of I did want to kind of touch on sponsors and things like that, and just like what it was like, I guess, being pro back in 2013. We said off air, you reckon that was your peak era. That was when you felt like you were hitting it, right? That's when you felt like you were peaking, or
well, I mean, it's not even a debate. Like 2013 was my best year. It
okay.
was crazy because I only competed twice, but like it was Worlds and the weekend after, and like Worlds, I mean, I smacked everybody. Like it was crazy. Like 6 by 6, I won. Like everyone knew I was gonna win six, and I won six. But then seven, like everyone thought they were good at seven, and I was like, no, 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 I'm actually the best at seven. And like, you can look at the results from that comp, and like everyone gets like a national record or a continental record in round one, and I win by a little bit. And then in round two in finals, everyone gets a continental record again, but I get world record, and I'm like, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
And
no.
then yeah, and like I also won 5 by 5 I won, which is the first round Felix ever lost at 5 by 5. And like So that was like, I mean, that day was crazy. Like that was, I mean, like I won 5, 6, and 7. So like that carries the entire year. And then 6x6 was the only cube I actually like. The times were good at Worlds. I missed my world record by like a second, but like I was a lot faster than that. But I was like 6, I was just so far ahead. And then the next weekend I went to a comp and got the crazy 140 single, 151 average. Like when I got that 151 average, the average was faster than the second place single. And like,
Yeah, dang.
yeah, so like those 2 weekends back to back were just like that's all I did for the whole year. But like, especially back then, people didn't compete as much, but just like so clearly, like that's the best year. Like 4 world records, 3 world records, 3 world records, 3 world titles, like, and I'm ranked 1 and 6 and 7, and ranked 2 and 5 by landslides, like for the whole year. So I mean, that was, and then I mean 2014 and 15 were very very good years as well, but like nothing like 2013 is just like you just you picture like your perfect competition in your head, and it never actually happens. Except like in 2013, it kind of did.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just looking at the. I'm just going to bring this in front of your face on the stream now, but I'm just looking at the results here. At seeing some iconic names. 3x3 podium: Felix, then Mats Valk, then Sebastian Ware.
yeah, I was in that. I was 6th seed at finals too.
You were 6th seed.
Yeah, I got 9.2 PR in semifinals. I was 6th place going into finals, which
God,
is crazy.
look at these averages. 8.1 was the winning average from Felix. That's crazy. And then yeah, 5x5.
Yeah.
5x5.
Winning average was low.
Yeah, it's wild. Kevin, then Felix, then Jung Ho Jung in 5x5 from Korea. Then we've got a lot of Koreans on the big cubes in 2013 because 6x6, I'm seeing you're first, obviously. Yi Seung Woo, Republic of Korea with the NR in second place. Michael Halkjuk. And then you got 7, but you got 7x7 gold before Bance Barat. Felix Zemdegs in third. So yeah, that's like a.
That's 7x7.
Go on.
Oh, dude, that 7x7 round final is crazy because it's like I'm looking at the results too. It's world record, European record, oceanic record, national record, national record.
Yeah, that's stacked. That is absolutely stacked with records. I'm not sure if I'm able to fit that all on screen, but yeah, look at these results here for 7x7. That's intense.
The mini SS came out like a week before, or like a couple weeks before, and everyone switched. Except Felix actually didn't switch, which was odd, but like it helped everyone drop a little more time in 7. And so it was like everyone just went crazy at 7x7 that comp.
You were sponsored by the Cubicle as well, of course?
Yeah, so Cubicle and I signed in I think right after 2014 Nets. Yeah, we started right after 2014 Nets until the end of 2021. I forget.
Yeah, okay.
The sponsorships I didn't drop off until a little after because like your popularity, like when you get good, it takes a while to your popularity to follow. Your popularity is like shifted like 2 years behind your skill, and so like I stopped being good, but like it takes people a while to forget about you, and your sponsorship appeal is based on your popularity, really.
Yeah.
And so like I kept the sponsorships for a couple years until these started. I think the end of 2021 they both expired, and that was it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, but yeah, I mean, you're exactly right because like Yihen still had some cubes to shift, and they all had your little face on them, so that wasn't going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, they were like, can we still? We have a bunch of boxes still. I was like, yeah, you could just don't print anymore, but like you can still. It's fine. You can print the rest of them.
So, you don't have to answer this, or you can answer it as mysteriously as you like. The Yihen deal with your face on all the boxes, that must have been worth a couple of bucks, eh? That was a good deal for you?
Yeah, it was good. I remember they were paying me like 15K a year. Let's give you straight
Let's
numbers.
go. That's
This is
great.
this is like, what year is this? This is 2017, 18?
Incredible.
2018. Wait, what year is Asian Champs? I got it Asian Champs. I mean, honestly, that's like not that much. It was like I like took a pay cut for that for sure. I think it was a little less the first year. I think the first year was only 10.
That's
I
still
forget, but
it's big numbers for I don't think anyone. Well, I don't know because I don't know the ins and outs of everyone's deals or whatever like that. But that's a decent wicket for for back then, you know?
It was good. It was okay for back then. Moyu definitely would have given me way more.
Right.
Um, like I mean, to be fair, at the time, like the way popularity worked at the time was very different. Like during the mid 2010s, it was Felix who was like 10 times more popular than Mods and me. And then me and Mods were like 10 times more popular than like whoever was fourth. It was like just the three of us. It was like so like it just like this is like not how it works anymore. But like I mean like the Vires were pretty like the Vires didn't have a lot of internet presence. Like they didn't put like because I randomly had my YouTube channel go like super viral as well, which
Mm.
like boosted me a huge amounts. Like it was kind of interesting to where like especially after like Vegas Worlds in 13, like it was us three and then a gap, and that kind of like us three like kind of carried on for the next few years. And so like at the time, Felix and Mott's had just picked up their corp like their manufacturer sponsorships, and then I went to Asian Champs 2018 to shop around, and that's when I was talking to Moyu and Chi, and not Gan because they only had a 3x3, and that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah. You were 10 years too
And they're
early
like,
for that deal.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, I still
Well,
don't have a 6 or 7
yeah,
now.
maybe 15 years too early because we haven't even got
Yeah.
one yet.
And so yeah, I ended up signing with Yushin because I like their cubes. Like it was specifically like I took less like Moyu. I didn't like get final numbers from Moyu, but I told Moyu like was clearly gonna offer me a lot more.
Yeah,
But
right.
like I didn't, like I told myself I wasn't gonna like make decisions based on money. And so like I think if I really gone for it, could have made like 25 or 30 a year at that point, which I think for the time was very, very good.
Mm.
Um which yeah, very like that like it just like I want to make sure like people know like I always like encourage like the cubers now to like get your money. Like you spend like so much time, so much effort working on this like your whole life. Like now that you've done like never do not cube for money. That's crazy. Like there's not that much like that's like a ridiculous idea. But like now that you've already done the work, make sure you get paid, like know how much you're worth and stuff. And so like
Yeah.
there is like a decent amount of money out there if you're like the super, super top guys. But um yeah, it quickly falls off because it's like all based on popularity.
Yeah. Now this is interesting and leads us into sort of talking about now, because yeah, we've had conversations with Dylan Miller about money and things, and there's always money is an interesting. It's I don't know why, but it seems to be quite divisive. And I'm not talking about specifically just manufacturer sponsorships, but I'm talking about just charging for services in cubing and charging for tickets to cubing events. And there's a lot of flux and change going on around that at the moment. People are trying new things. So I guess the link is to the question, like, what are you like? So you're, a relatively OG cuber, you know what I mean? You represent an era that existed, and we're now in a very different one. When you're sitting back and looking at cubing now, what's your kind of what's your perspective on it? Do you like where it's gone? Do you have you noticed that it's changed in any way, or like what's your take on where we are now, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in kind of a transition period. I feel like as cubing as a whole, like after COVID, we kind of ran a few of these comps that are very similar. Like, I mean, like the big majors recently have been like exactly the same but nicer as like previously, and like we see now there's more like cubing has gotten too big for this like one size fits all type of like kind of mentality, and like we've already seen that be reflected in like the WCA where like years ago like people were extremely opposed to even like doing anything different, like treating top competitors differently in any way, good or bad, and like that's codified in the WCA as like different things now. Like it's specifically stated that like you can use frame by frame analysis for like top 50 solves or championship level solves. Like that is straight up like we're treating people differently, and like we definitely should. Like it just like the concept of like doing that like didn't even exist. Like you get pushback on that, which I always thought was crazy. Like um years ago, and now like it's like and things move very slowly as you kind of expect from like the community's gotten pretty large, and like there's a lot of people like pretty stringent or like pretty just like kind of locked into like how they viewed cubing when they started. And so like I've kind of always been on the mindset of like wanting more and like wanting things to change and like kind of seeing like there's more to cubing, and like I like being on now as like a member of Cubing USA org team, like seeing like, I mean, now obviously like nationals is public and like we've announced it and stuff, like seeing like an event like nationals, which like I'm really excited about. I'm really curious like how it's gonna go.
Mm.
But like seeing the community response as like, I feel like the most of the response was generally like, cool idea, curious how it's gonna go. And I'm like, yeah, same. Like that's what we're also kind of curious how it's gonna go. Like
Yeah.
nothing to this scale has ever been done before, but like it's already up. Like everyone signed up. Like not everyone, but like you look at the psych sheets for that thing online and like they're very fast. Like I didn't make 4x4. I've already gotten kicked out of 4x4. Um I think 5x5 I might get kicked out of. Maybe I'll get a PR this summer, but we'll see. And so like I see the community, like the community generally, it seems like we want, like they're aware that like the next step is obviously like more spectator appeal, more spectator appeal, like more like things that are specifically catered to like the very top competitors, and like kind of the harder part that like you alluded to already, that like what's naturally that comes along with that is like how do you make these things, and like money is obviously like involved by like mandatory, like you have to pay a production company to do the stream. You have to pay a venue. Like we're putting, like there's a lot of money for a low number of competitors at these things, and like it's, I think like I'm kind of curious how like this will go. Like I'm really excited about it, and I hope it like all works out. And like I like running these. I'm like really excited to run these events,
Mm.
and like I'm in like the very cautious optimism side. And then I do think it's a little strange, like acting like money being involved and people wanting to make money off of this thing being like inherently a bad thing. I think is kind of crazy, because like pro leagues exist. Like there's just like universal truth that like pro leagues existing fosters a stronger like casual viewer, like casual like um hobbyist base. Like USA Swimming anticipates like a huge jump in membership every 4 years after the Olympics because of like the Olympic boost, and people see things on TV. Like you like wonder why like US, like the US soccer teams aren't quite as good, because like the pro league, like everyone plays football or baseball, like all the really good athletes do, because that's what you see on TV. Like I think it's pretty like a ubiquitous feeling that like you've seen like these pro leagues on TV. You run out in your yard, you want to like, you pretend it's like the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs and you're up to bat. Like those are things that like everyone's kind of done, or like whatever sport you're into or whatever competitive thing you're into, you see it on TV, you like pretend that's what you're like at home. And like acting like that existing for cubing is like a very good thing. Like acting like that's like super elitist, or like it's just like catering to the top competitors, is really disingenuous, because like that
Mm.
like is motivating for like so many kids who like see that and like, wow, it's so cool. If I practice really hard, like I can be up there too. I can do this. These are the opportunities that are there. And like, yeah, like it takes a ton of work, and like most people aren't going to get that, but that's fine. Like that's how like things always work. But like it doesn't mean that like working towards that goal and seeing that motivation is like worthless for everyone who doesn't like become like a super professional cuber. Like I think like there's thousands and thousands of college athletes that would say they were motivated by pro athletes that had a great time and a great NCAA experience and never had a chance of going pro, and still would say it was like I watch, like I swim in college. I watch pro swimming. I follow it as extremely like fun to see. And like I think there'd be less interest in swimming as a whole, if like overall for me and like my colleagues, if like there weren't pro meets and like the Olympics happened and like you could see worlds on TV and like all this stuff, where like, wow, that'd be so cool. And like you see this type of thing, even though like I wasn't very good. Like there was no chance
Yeah.
that like that was ever going to be a reality for me. But like that's just a very validating thing for you and your activity.
Absolutely. It's like I feel like this might be a stretch and I haven't thought this through, but bear with me, okay? So cuz like I feel like the arguments against cubing becoming more mainstream and being more visible is like the same arguments I hear kind of about women's sports. And I'll give you an example specifically, okay? Because, you know, my son's really into rugby. I love to watch the rugby with him. We went to our local to watch a game because they had Sky Sports, and we were there a bit early, and they were showing some women's NRL, right, the rugby league, and it's so good to watch, bro. It's so good to watch. And I had my daughter with me who could not, at that point, could not care less about rugby. She was like, I don't care. Stupid boy sport. I hate it. And then she obviously sees the women playing, and she's like, oh, wait. Okay, that's interesting. And then me and Charlie, my son, are watching it, and it was so good, man. It was so good. They're just these incredible women playing the game, and it's a good game to watch. It's different, but it's great to watch. But then Georgie, my daughter, sees women playing rugby, and she goes, "Oh, this is for me. I can do that." And now she's like, she comes along to some of the training sessions we do, purely because she saw herself represented. She saw she was given, almost like given permission by seeing it on TV. She was just like, "Oh, I can do that too." And she was like so enthused by it, and is now like really enamored by this idea. And it's just about that exposure. It's just about seeing the thing. It's like, all right, you're at Google. I don't know if you're involved in ads or whatever, but it's just,
No.
it's impressions. That's all we want, is impressions. We want people to see cubing, because the more impressions you get, the more conversions you'll get. Impressions, people getting eyeballs on a thing, will lead to a certain percentage of those people doing the thing. And it's like, I don't see any downside to that personally, you know? And Curious Nick as well. This is someone I've talked about on the stream. Curious Nick in the chat. It's why we need more girls in cubing. I love to see girls creating content based on cubing, because that's the only way that girls can go, well, sorry, that's not true. It is another way that girls can go, I can do this too. And that grows their participation, which I think is linked. So let's get into some specifics, all right? I want to... How much time have you got, by the way? Are you good, or do you need to run off?
I got time.
Okay, sweet. I want to talk about Nats 2025. So, post-competitive arc, you've come back into the fold with a different sort of role. You are getting very much involved in the organizational side. You said, which committee or which group are you in, did you say?
Yeah, so I'm Cubing USA.
Cubing USA. Okay, sweet. Quite a big one, as it turns out.
Yeah, probably the biggest.
Yeah, right.
Organization there is.
So Nats 2025. I'm gonna need you to break down for me, firstly, maybe, and then potentially some people in the chat as well. Is it well, it may or may not be the first All-Star Nationals, but you can explain that. But the All-Star format, give us a bit of a rundown on what that is, where it's come from, how it's grown, and then we'll talk about Nats 2025.
Yeah, so the All-Star format, like, there isn't like a mandated All-Star format. It kind of just represents, like, we invited very few people, or like there's extremely fast queue time, or for nationals we're doing top N qualification in every single event, so there's no time you need to make the event. It's just when the registration closes, if you're top X on the psych sheet, you're in or you're not in. So like the All-Star format, really, like in the previously, I think All-Star competitions have been restricted to only 3x3. There's only been a couple of them. They're just like 32 people, or like there's some crazy fast queue time, like I think it was like 7 or 6.5, like last NAC or something. I mean, if we did one for Worlds, it'd be like 6. But and then spaced out rounds, like the concept is like more spaced out rounds, really focusing on presentation value, like streaming the entire thing. We want people to watch. Like most of the main way to participate in this event is watching, because like versus like I think people really underestimate this value of the convention style competitions like World Champs and Nationals that we hold every year. Well, normal Nationals, the large major Cubing USA holds every year is a convention style event, and we're doing that for Worlds this year, which is why Nationals is the way it is. But like 90% of people's experience at these events, if you're not like super serious, is hanging out, meeting people, talking, watching. Like the actual competition part is a very small portion, especially for someone who does like 3 or 4 events, only does round 1. Like that takes what, like 90 minutes of your weekend. Like,
Yeah.
But like it's interesting because if you remove that part, people wouldn't come. But like that's such a small part of the weekend. Like the main draw is like seeing a bunch of friends, meeting new people, like seeing all these people that share your interests and this event. And like there's other things to do besides like just do a few round 1s. And like I think like an All-Stars format where like we're focusing more on like, okay, like we want people to come in person. We're gonna try and host a larger competition, an open competition in the same area at a very similar time. But like is it feasible to host a competition where like the main thing to do for most people is just watch or just like come and hang
Mm.
out? And like, so that's kind of the logic behind that. And so it's definitely like a new format, and I think it's been like kind of toyed around with, and like it makes sense for nationals because I mean we were already like we're hosting a 2,000 person comp in Seattle. There are many logistical reasons why we can't host a 1,200 person comp in New England in the same year. So this is like a good opportunity to try something new out for this year, I think.
Yes. Okay. So you sort of alluded to it earlier, but has there been pushback? Has there been community pushback on how you're shaping it?
I mean, there's always people that don't like it. Like, I think there's a couple, you see a couple comments like, oh, like everyone's supposed to be able to go to nationals, and I'm like, who told you that? Like, I don't, no one said that. Like, who said
It's
that?
a lot of
I didn't say it.
assumptions. A lot of assumptions.
I
Hey.
was like, there's just, I think the main pushback, it's just a little bit of the archaic, like, I kind of the way I phrase it, and not to, I mean, I get pretty heated about this topic sometimes, but like,
Let's go.
there, yeah, I mean, cubing for a very long time, like, there's a difference between cubing being for everybody, which it definitely is. There's a difference between cubing being for everybody and every cubing event being for you. And I think the people who are a little like against kind of the new style of things and trying new things out, like, want every part of cubing to be for them, and that's not realistic as cubing gets bigger, and frankly it's very selfish. Like Yihen and Little Timmy want different things out of their local competition. They straight up like they don't need the same thing. They don't want the same thing. Like the experience they're looking for is very different. And to like have only one competition to cater to like everyone on like the spectrum of like how serious cubers are, like just like doesn't even make sense anymore. And like you can get that middle ground with a convention style competition, but like as we've seen at Worlds, like we're kind of hitting the limit of like how many people can we put at one competition? Like we have 1,980 people signed up for 3x3. Like that is a logistical. Like I am not on the logistics side of like running the comp. Like that is a crazy impressive achievement just by itself. And like I don't think people are going to be like we can't host a 10,000 person comp. This is just it's just not doable. Like I think people I have no doubt this comp's gonna go really well. I've seen all the work being put into it, and like at some point, like you just can't have that many people. And like we already saw at Worlds with 2,000 people, like I think 100. Everyone who signed up in the first 90 minutes of Phase 4 got in, which is actually quite good because if you were paying attention, that means you got in because 90 minutes is quite a long time for Phase 4. But like we already saw, like you can't go if you're a new like we already Worlds already cuts out the new competitors and it cuts out like the more casual competitors, and also it does a really good job. I think Worlds style like the convention style comps do a really good job of catering to ranks like 3 through 40, where like there's a lot of rounds for those ranks. You get a lot of recognition. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. But I think it doesn't do as quite as well for like the newer competitors, and it doesn't do quite as good of a job for like these super mega top competitors either.
Mm.
Because I think they actually at this point deserve a little more, like in an event like an all-star competition where like a competitor like me now who's in that middling good ranks, like I'm not no lifing cubing and like spending my entire time, and this is not my job, but like to be like number one, number two in the world in these events, like this is like your entire life. Like this, you put so much time and effort into it, and like these world competitions and these huge convention style events are like really great, and I think do a really solid job of like showcasing that and giving you a platform. But like that kind of still existed a long time ago, like in my day in the late 20 teens, and I think cubing's gotten bigger to where like we could do more for that. Like there's like a that tier is like more serious now as like cubing gets bigger, the ends get more like elongated, and like that very top tier of cuber like deserves a little more, which I think nationals is doing a pretty good job of. But like oh my god, I went like so I'm like completely, and then oh yeah, the pushback, there we go,
Yeah,
the original point I was
that's where
at,
we
like
were.
but yeah, like as cubing gets bigger there's like so many different people that want different things, and like I think just having like it kind of makes sense naturally to me. Like cubing is for everybody, and like there's a different event for every person, but like not every single event's gonna be for every person. Like these, like just like USA, Cubing USA this year is a good example. Like we have national all-star nationals, which is like super catered to like the Max Park, the Luke Garrett, the very, very tippy top person. We have world champs, which is very well catered to like those people and the next like 30 people on the ranks, and does a really good job if you're like a pretty very serious casual solver. And then if you're kind of in that like second half of people at worlds, like we also have the regional championship competition, southeast championship, northeast championships, which do a really great job at like the regional, like for people who are pretty solid in their region. Don't take this too crazily, but like that's a really good event for them. And there's hundreds of locals all over like all over the country every weekend that are just like super relaxed, just like for absolutely like really not the competitions that they're really, there's like newcomer month, like stuff that's specifically like I went to one where it's like 150, 160 people on 3x3, like 75% are making the next round. Like these are the events that are really welcoming. Like everyone can come, but like they're really focused on like getting people more solves and get like they're gonna have a lot of new competitors. And like there is definitely like you can look at the way the USA is structured for competitions and there's something for everybody. And like but it's like pretty clear now that like not every event is like catered towards everybody. And I think that's just like not only like it's just like a natural result of keeping getting bigger, and like it makes like if you can find the events, like there's lots of different events you can go to, and like there will be something that's like specifically really good for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I see that to an extent, even in New Zealand. Like, as someone who is not particularly fast, because I don't practice, it's like even nationals in New Zealand is like it's not a great value proposition for me because it's like, well, I'll get first rounds in a couple of things, and then I've got nothing to do for 2 days, really. You know,
Right.
I'll just judge and run for 2 days, and it's like, well, that's not worth plane tickets and accommodation and all that kind of stuff. It's just that like nationals is just it's not worth it. Whereas a smaller comp, exactly what you're saying. If there's a 75% cut off, I'm like, ooh, okay, well now I've got a chance. You know, I can't touch anything at nationals. It's just it's really. It's really tough. It's still nice to go, and you know, Curious Nick in the chat, the social aspect is important. It's still nice to go. So if I can go, I'll go along. Like we had nationals in the city I live in last year, and I went along just to say hey. I literally didn't even compete in that one. I just went along to say good day, and that was about it. But yeah, just and doubling back to a point you made about Worlds, I'm just looking at the schedule now. So for 3x3 first round. They must be running 2 stages because it's like it's in the schedule twice on the Saturday. 1:45 to sorry?
We're running 10 stages.
10 stages.
Yeah, 6 down. So to make the schedule possible to read, the dark blue is downstairs, hall 4, the main hall, and upstairs is green, hall 6, or
Okay.
floor 6.
So it's 1:45 to 4:15. So what's that? 3.5? Wait, 1:45? 2.5 hours on 10 stages. So what's that?
With 100 different like groups.
25 hours. 25 hours combined to grind through. Did you say 1900 compared to 1980?
I think it's something like that. Let me check.
Like it's incredible. It's actually amazing. Curious Nick is staff and competing at Worlds as well. Patrick Ponce in the chat, staffing this year. At Nats, I help more than I compete at Curious Nick. That's kind of my life at any comp I go to, really. I'll do my first rounds, I won't get through, and then I'm just the judge for the rest of the time. Because a lot of people go home after that. That's the reality is you start the comp with loads of people. We do a 2-day comp in New Zealand. Lots of people, and then everyone leaves, and we're scrabbling around for judges and runners and things like that, and scramblers by the finals. Patrick saying in the chat, it's just 10 200-person comps. Easy. That's a great frame of mind. I like it.
Yeah, we have 1,972 signed up for 3x3. So
that's
it's a kind of expensive comp. So like, we'll definitely have over 1,800. There'll be a bunch of no shows, of course, as there always is. But
yeah,
it'll be the biggest comp ever by a huge margin, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about, so we're getting distracted by Worlds, but we're talking about nationals. So forgive me. All stars. It's all stars. Is it the same average of 5? Everything's still WCA. Well, it has to be because it's still WCA, right? So, but is it? There's no knockout or anything like that. Is it head to head? What do we mean? Like at a base level, what do we mean when we say all stars?
Yeah, so we have it's top end qualifications. So for 3x3, it's top 32. For 2x2, 4x4, 5x5, one-handed, Pira, and Scube, it's top 16. For FMC, it's top 12. And for everything else, it's top 8. And so each round we have like half an hour. Let me look at the schedule again.
Yeah, it looks like it.
We have a lot, like the schedule is very like spaced out. We have a lot of time. We're going to announce every single round. Even for rounds like we do 8 people at a time, all stationary. Even for rounds with 16 people, the first 8 will come out and compete, and the second 8 will be like sequestered backstage, and we'll use the same scrambles, and then they'll come out, and we'll like announce everyone for every round. It's very focused on streaming. Happy Feed's signed on to do the production for the streams, so I mean we've put in so much work for the world stream already. It'd be like copy paste, and we'll have like already so much more stuff than we need for Nats. So it'd be really great to like use all of that stuff again. And then yeah, there's not only 3x3 finals is head to head, top 8, but everything else is like we have half an hour for every final, which is a decent amount of time. For Worlds we have 25 minutes, which is definitely plenty of time, and so we can also like even with half an hour at Nats, we have a little more time. Like we can space things out a little bit. We can make sure we get people staggered on their solves, so not everyone's going exactly the same time. Just like some nice quality of life stuff for the stream. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty. I think like we're only estimating like 100 people will like be there, something like that. But it'd be in an auditorium, like auditorium spectator seating. It'll be very like spectator focused event, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, cool. I like that. It's what I've yapped and yapped and yapped about with people like Matt Mayernick and with Dylan and with Michael Chai. Like it's broadcast outcomes is what we want, you know? Broadcast outcomes are the things that will grow the sport and will expose more people to it. But the traditional WCA comp, no hate, they're great. They get people into cubing. That's awesome. But they're not made to be they're not made explicitly to be spectator events. They're made to churn competitors in that everyone gets to play format, which is fine, but you do need to play around with that in the way that you're doing with US Nationals to what's the word I'm trying to look for, to prioritize those broadcast outcomes and those great moments that are easy for people to digest, because we have those moments in WCA format competitions. We do, or traditional format competitions, but you need to do maths and you need to understand a lot about the format, and it's very difficult, and it seems silly because it's not that complicated, but the more barriers that you can remove for normies to understand what's going on, the more of an effective outcome you will have from that event. Is my take on it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. Like it, if you tune in and then like to even start watching, you need to understand this rule and X, Y, and Z. It's like very hard to get going, and like you want something where even if you don't understand full, like if you watch an NFL broadcast, there are a million rules in the NFL and so many nuances, and it's crazy, and like, but you don't need to know anything. You just need to know, gotta get the ball to this line. That's like really all you need to know to watch the game and be like, okay, cool, I know what's going on. So like that's like there's such a low barrier to entry that like for cubing, like I think the NAC broadcast did a decent job last year where like putting even something simple like putting graphics on screen. Okay, X needed to win. Just need this to win. Here's the live ranking. Like we have an F1 style live ranking, just like people shuffling around, like making things more digestible. If you just have a little more time to do this, it helps out a lot. And so like that's what we're definitely like. I mean, I'm thinking about that a lot for the world stream, and then all the ideas like for the world stream will be carried over to the Nat stream, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Have we revealed who's going to be the commentators for Nationals USA? Because this is a big one that people get hung up on. And Nick's saying it in the chat. Yeah, much depends on the commentator. It absolutely does. People have different opinions about commentators and things. I suppose that's a question for Matt Mayernick potentially. But do you know who's in line for commentary on Nationals?
For Nationals, no, I run the team, but no,
Oh,
we haven't. I'll see. Nationals is very like we got it going. It's all set up. We're very good, but like Worlds is in 2 weeks, so I'm like
of course.
Nat's planning starts in like 5 weeks.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Uh,
I'm my timeline's all screwed up. Okay, so yeah, Worlds, do we have so wait a minute. You're running the or you're part of the team running the broadcast for Worlds?
yeah, so I'm in charge of basically all things production value for Worlds, which includes the stream.
Okay. Sorry, I should have clarified that for the people in the chat earlier on. So you're part yeah, you're that's your role in the Worlds, and you're the same role for Nationals?
Yeah, I mean it's the same team. Keeping USA org team is doing nationals too. So
Of course.
Nats there's less to do because there's not like a million moving parts, obviously, and like but yeah, it'll be similar. Run the stream, assemble the commentary team, make the schedule, plan kind of how the cadence of the finals is going to go, like what the MC is going to do, how we're going to like do announcements and everything, how that timing is going to work out, like a lot of small stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Fascinating. It's um what did I want to ask? Hold on a minute. I'm brain farting. Hold on, it's coming back to me. What so commentators, that's what we were talking about. We don't know who commentators are for Worlds yet?
There'll be a post about it very soon
Okay.
on the Cubecast side, so I'll let that happen.
Yeah, okay, cool. Is the national is no, Nationals isn't on the WCA yet? Or can I just not find it?
Oh, it's on WCA. It's Rubik's X the Cubicle Cubing USA All Stars 2025.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we gotta pay for it somehow.
No, hell yeah. No, get that bank, get it paid for. And that's another thing, right? If you want professional people and you want professional outcomes, that's not free. You've got to pay people for that. And the people who are doing this stuff are people who are your age, who are Matthew Maynick's age. They are professionals. They are people who are doing this stuff professionally, and to not pay them would be just silliness. It's just that's not going to happen. And where do you think that's come from? We're going slightly off script here. Where do you think the attitude of Cube's good, money bad? Where like to really really dumb it down? But where do you think that attitude has come from in cubing? Like why do you think we're dealing with that?
Oh, well, I mean, the way it kind of makes sense for like cubing's been volunteer run for ever and ever and ever. And so when you have like as you kind of transition into like, okay, well, some of these services we're asking for, like we're trying to hire a professional production company, like you can't run volunteers for a video production service if you want a good quality like outcome. And so like some of these things are more clear cut. You got to pay for that. Like if you're gonna go like I mean the production companies in Korea and I think Euros were like third party, and so obviously just gotta use money. But since Cubing's so volunteer run, I can see it makes a lot of sense why like okay, what now we do need to pay for some things, but what things are going to get paid, and then people that have been doing this as a volunteer for years feel like resentful of the fact that like in like a totally valid way of like okay well like we're paying this person to do something that I did for free for so long, and so like it's hard to change a culture like that even when you maybe need to just because it's been run for so long. And I think it's pretty reasonable that like people like I'm very much like I understand why it's hard to like get that mindset going, but it's also kind of like some things will just like it's getting too big. You need people to be like legitimate paid staff to like do some of these things because like at some point you can't run this like huge event as like purely volunteers. It's just like not very logistically possible.
Yeah, I mean, again another thing I've yapped about. I'd like to see like change like that kind of comes from the top. I would love to see the WCA put money into a paid CEO. you know, like someone running operations and being paid for it to do it professionally, I think would be a change that would, you know, lead by example is not always a great strategy, or a foolproof strategy, but I feel like that might be good because I feel, especially when we were back in the in the sliding stuff that happened at the end of last year, and the board were really under the pump, bro. And like I was looking at that, and I've been on boards, and I am on boards, and I'm like far out. I wouldn't want to be involved in that because that soaks up so much time. What do you think?
It is wild how much time is donated for free by organizers and WCA staff members, and like it's kind of like interesting where like any people that are in this like can see it and are like, wow, people should be getting paid for this. And then also like once you pay someone, it's like, well, I'm not getting paid. Why are they getting paid? And so it's like you kind of when you're like switching, it's kind of hard and like um yeah, I mean the board put like there's like I don't understand. Like I've been working so much on Worlds and like I am just like like I'm just like one of the team members of like a regional organizing team. I Worlds is a big competition, obviously, but like it's crazy how much work like I'm doing, realizing that like other people are doing much more work and like the board is like so busy and like it's all volunteer work. Is like yeah, I would personally not have a problem with them hiring like a full-time CEO or like a staff, like paying people like at the high staff levels, because like that is like so much time and effort.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, you know, even school boards, you do get like a nominal amount for turning up to your board meetings. You know, like it's not completely volunteer. It's a volunteer role because you have the opportunity to say yes or no to your money you're offered at the end of the year. But like, there is money. Like we saw the financials at the end of 2024. There is money. Competitions overall are making money, and the WCA has money in the bank. And it seems it's I don't know. I'm probably missing context, almost certainly missing context, but I feel like it's just a no brainer. Just like you've got a great board, let the board do board things. Let a CEO, a chief executive officer, be the or a COO, you know, operations officer, someone whose job it is to run the operations of the WCA. I feel like it can only lead to better outcomes, you know. But I saw Chang in the chat. This is an interesting one. I'm not involved in church or whatever like that, but Chang is saying, wait, what did he say? He said something like small church mentality. Here we go. Um, you won't get cancelled, Chang. You're good. We call it small church mentality in a church that's grown to be a large church. You end up thinking the church can keep running the same way as it did with 20 people when there's 1,000 people. But it just doesn't work like that. More people, more problems. You know, more money, more problems, and it becomes a big beast that you have to wrestle with to keep it running properly. You know, is my
Oh
view.
yeah, I mean it's definitely just like it's like I see like we are limited now on like things have to like we are in the WCA is changing and like we're seeing these types of things, but like it's maybe we're a little behind the curve on like some of the things we should probably be doing to get things like to adapt to like how big cubing has become and how much like money there just like inherently is in it now. Like that's just like part of the game.
Yeah. Okay, listen, we've been yapping for ages. I should probably let you go. There's one final, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, particularly.
I don't know. I'm excited for Worlds. Worlds is gonna be sick. Like it's gonna be crazy. Like it's I'm really excited. I've been putting a ton of work into the finals production. We're gonna have things will just like without a lot of effort, things are just like a little bit nicer. We got a little more time for finals. We got a lot of fancy stuff going on. So if you're not going, make sure you tune into the stream because it's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, and that's a great link to the question I was going to ask. This is the one everyone wants to know, okay? Who's winning 3x3 at Worlds?
Oh, Yiheng's gonna, of course.
Yiheng's going to win?
He's gonna win. Like, what were we even talking about? Like, come on, people. Like, what are we talking about? He's gonna win. Like, it's like, I mean, okay, yeah, Xuanyi might win. I don't know, but like, Yiheng's gonna win. Like, Yiheng is the only person where like anything except winning is a disaster. Like, like let's just call it what it is. Like he has to win, or it's like a disaster.
I
If he
will.
is the best in the world,
I will be actually devastated if he doesn't. Like because of the story, right? Speedcubing TV in the chat talking about the story. The story, it has to be Yihen. Like he's who I want to win. But
he has 73 of the top 100 averages.
yeah, there is that.
Like,
And I feel like he's better at nerves now. He had some issues in major championships. Hey, where people have thought, certainly this is a Western perspective, we haven't heard his words, we haven't heard him talking about it, but we perceive it as nerves affecting him in major finals. What do you reckon?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it gets harder as you get older. Like nerves, in the sense that like it's like you get more experience with them. So it's I think maybe it gets a little easier and then it gets harder because like you get more experience with the nerves and then you get a little older and you're like, oh my god, this is my entire life. Like this is like you like know beforehand that like this is gonna be a defining moment in your life and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
kind of big deal. Versus like when you're just starting out, you're like you look back and you're like, wow, that's a pretty big deal. But like I didn't know it at the time. And so like I think Yihang's still young enough and like he's on that like he's only been to one Worlds, didn't go very well, and he's on that like redemption grind, but he's still young, so he's not like this is not his like entire like life. He's still very young. And so like I think he's in that sweet spot of like I mean, like this guy is definitely at home practicing comp style every single day, probably practicing like head-to-head final style, like because like honestly, making finals is free for him. His worst average in his last 20 is like 5.2. That's gonna be like top 5 seeds.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure he's got a coach. He's very serious. I'm sure he's practicing this like head-to-head, so like everything right, and like I think he's at that point where like he will come and he competes well and he will execute, and he doesn't even need to execute that well to win. Like it would take Xuanyi doing extremely well or someone else doing crazy well to beat him. Like
Yeah.
I think anyone like I think yeah, you can be like, oh, maybe this other person will win as like kind of like a fun pick, but like when if you like seriously if you're like seriously like who has the highest statistical odds of winning, it's Yihen, and it's like not even remotely close.
Yeah, right.
And like so big on Yihen winning.
He's clearly he's definitely favorite. He's definitely favorite. Xuanyi, interesting. It was so funny when Yihen got the average. He got the sub 4 average, and then Xuanyi beat him in finals. I thought that was quite interesting. I was like, oh, hold on a minute now. That's wild, but it is what it is. I guess Yihen was probably coming down off a lot of adrenaline after that round where he got the 308, the 391. I beg your pardon. We had breaking news in the chat, actually. Patrick Ponce says he's going to win Worlds. So there we are. It's decided. Patrick's going to take it. Where is Patrick on the site sheet? Hold on a minute. I'm going to call you out, Patrick. Hold on.
You make files.
Okay, seed 24. Okay.
Doable.
Coming in hot with the 557 PR. All right. Okay, Patrick, we see you.
Who asked about, yes, Max is who's going to win 6 and 7. Max will win 6 and 7. Like, it'd be crazy for him to lose either of those.
I agree. I think that would be. He's only got in 6. Seung Hyuk Nam is only a second behind him for the average on 6x6. But you're the expert here.
Oh, the thing about 6 and 7 is those like world rankings are like a little misleading. Like people on the average for 6 and 7, they have like their like best time ever, like as their PR. It's like their at home PB, like really close. And Max is a little faster, but Max like averages in comp what these people get is their like best time ever. And it's like he's like, yeah, some miracle could happen. It's a mean of 3, anything can happen, but like Max is a slam dunk huge favorite. And yes, very high variance because of mean of 3, but like I mean Max is oh my god, his last 10 6x6 averages are like his worst one is 112 and his second worst one's 110. Like it's unlike like 110 will win on almost every like 110 is gonna win almost every single time. Like 7x7 he's a little shakier, but like 145 is gonna win 7x7, and Max gets that almost every single time as well. So like
yeah, right.
I mean like yeah, someone are there people are capable of getting under 145, but like, do I think anyone else is going to do it in the final at Worlds? Like, no. Like, the only way I could see it happening is if someone gets like 148, 148, 135, like some crazy average with a good single on the last one. Because you get that good single on the second one, and you got the chance to win and beat Max, but you still like, oh man, I got a 135, but like that's still not enough. Like I gotta go crazy. Like I think it's gonna be too much.
Now, I tell you what, actually, that's leading me on to an interesting final question, postscript question. Your perspective as a big cube solver, and I'm only just considering this now, but now you're mentioning it. Yeah, when you land, if you're doing 7x7 and you land a you land something. Hold on a minute, I don't have perspective on 7x7. I've forgotten the number you said. Yeah, so you land a couple of 130s. And you're like, sweet, we're on. Well, 130 somethings, okay? 130 somethings. And you're like, oh, dang, I'm on. You've still got 3, 4.5, nearly 5 minutes of solving time ahead of you in the average. How much does that get in your head in 7x7 compared to one of the sprint events like 3x3 or something? Is it that, because you've competed in both at a high level? How much more, I suppose, mental discipline do you need in the big cube events to keep your cool when you know you're on a run?
Yeah, big cubes are something else just because the Mina 3 format is
Oh,
so
of course.
like
Yeah, sorry.
unforgiving and like it's so unforgiving. It's so the dynamic is entirely different in these finals, I feel like, because like you can really like you just lose it all on like one bad solve. It's just all over. But also you only need that one kind of stupid single and like you're in it. So like it's really like one solve at a time. And it's really hard to actually do that. And I think like the best way to do a good average is to do normal solve, crazy single. Because getting a crazy single and then two normal solves is so much harder. Like just because you have that in the back of your mind, like, oh my God, like I get this is gonna be it. Like you get that stupid single and you're like, don't waste it. Or like this is it. You gotta like just like hold it together. But like if you're on normal pace, you can feel like keep feeling normal. And then it's like when you do that, you're in that normal zone and you're just kind of like flowing, and then all of a sudden you get something crazy. Um but like I think it really Mina 3 events really especially like favor the people who know they're gonna win. Like
Interesting.
like you just show up and you know you're gonna win. You don't need like I don't care. I don't need to not count a solve. Like I know I'm gonna win. I'm gonna just do my three solves and beat everyone. Like because there's less margin for error, like I think the average of 5 events like give a little bit like it's actually easier in a sense of like, okay, we can kind of we got one solve to work with. Maybe I'm not mentally on it, but like we're fine. Versus like Mina 3, like you have to be super confident every single time. Like you just know you're gonna win and like show up and do it. Versus because like or you just have to be like super lax and you get that one single and they're like, okay, well I guess we're having a good time. Maybe something crazy will happen. But I always felt much more confident, at least in the big Q in like the Mina 3 events. Like if I like when I like the key for me was always like I have to know I'm gonna win or else it gets real shaky real fast.
Yeah, okay. That yeah, so you got to have that mindset. Yeah, I got completely messed up. I completely forgot that mean of 3 exists. I don't do big cubes because I never make the cutoff or the time limit or whatever. Whichever one means you're just like see you later DNF. But
Yeah.
Patrick's just saying in the chat, oh, a crazy single start like Kevin Hayes 2013 7 final. I'm just trying to look that up now. Is that when you got was that the WR single?
Oh, it was almost WR single. I remember I like knew it was really close to WR single and had a G perm and was like, I'm gonna take this slow because it's the world final. And like I missed WR by like a second or so, but it was a tactical decision and no regrets, that's for sure.
Okay, okay, okay. That's what that one was. All right, yeah, I see you. Yeah, there we are. Um, yeah,
And that was an example of like I knew I was gonna win, and so like that didn't phase me as much because I was like, oh, that's expected. Also, it helped that I had gotten a 223 warming up like 30 minutes earlier, and I was like, I'm on. This is it. like, and so like, but like yeah, like even getting like if I was pretty good at that time but didn't believe in the win and got that single, I probably would have totally lost it and been like, oh my god, like we can do it, like it's gonna happen. Versus like, oh no, we're this good. This is expected. This is just yeah, almost world record. That's the part of the plan. Like we're just keep going type thing.
Yeah, right. So that's the mindset. Is I'm here to win. Go in with that mindset.
Yeah, you got to believe it.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm gonna let you go. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for asking all those questions. I cannot wait to watch Worlds. Honestly, I'm really looking forward.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited. Hopefully, the stream team is hoping for the winners decided on the final solve. That's all I want.
That's all we want. We just want the plot. We're here for the plot, and then we want all of our plot lords. We want speedcubing TV, and we want StuCube to just take that plot and then just like turn it into something epic. That's what we love to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just want that X to win on the screen for the last solve.
Yes, that's honestly, that is like instant gratification for anyone watching. It's just like, he needs to get this. Watch. Oh, okay. Right.
It's the most digestible clip ever. Like, and that's it. And we'll cut instantly to whoever wins to get the reaction. Like, it'll be like, that's the dream.
Yes, that's very
whatever happens.
Yeah, no, epic. Listen, thank you so much, Kevin. Really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll stay in touch, and I'll be watching Worlds with interest. Everyone watching knows the deal by now, but essentially, I'm gonna cut to my main screen, and then I'm gonna hang up on you, and it'll feel very rude on your end, but it is what it is. These are the behind the curtain secrets. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Have an awesome day, and best of luck for the stream and everything.
All right, thanks.
Peace. See ya. All right, there we are, everyone. That was Kevin Hayes. How about that? I'm just gonna flick him a quick message and be like, thanks again. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. There you go. All right, everyone. Hey. I gotta pee real bad. So I'm gonna do that. That is next on my list. And then we're gonna do a couple of things. We are gonna look at, there was a StuCube vid and somebody mentioned it. Was it Double A Cubing? Double A Cubing mentioned that StuCube was talking about Yihen in a video. I want to take a look at that. StuCube vids are always banging. Man, his subscribe. I may have to look at him on Social Blade as well, because his subscribers, I feel like they've doubled since last time I checked. He's nearly at 50k now, which is wild. We'd love to see it. He should be at 5 million, really, if we're being serious here for a second. StuCube vid, I want to take a look at. A new Rubik's timer. Looks kind of interesting. There's a video I'm going to take a look at on that. I can't remember whose video it was, but we will find it and we will watch it. And we'll have some yaps about it. It has got the cutest little display. Oh my days. The cutest little display. And it looks like a viable timer. And I wonder, I don't know the ins and outs of this. So Patrick, if you're still there, or Kevin, if you're watching, I don't know. But if anyone has any understanding of the WCA and SpeedStacks deal, like when SpeedStacks has exclusivity until, if anyone can give me that information, I'd be interested, because now that Rubik's have what looks like potentially a viable competitor to the SpeedStacks timer, are SpeedStacks shaken? Is this the thing that will break their monopoly? Because I feel like Rubik's is very involved in, I mean, this is a ridiculous statement. Rubik's is really involved in speedcubing, everyone. It all starts there. How many of you in the chat had a Rubik's brand as your first cube? Ooh, that's a good poll, Mike. Well done. Well done, you. I'm going to start a poll. I'm interested to know, was your first cube... here we go. Was your... first cube at Rubik's brand? I know mine was. Let me know in the poll. What else was I going to look at? There's a Weilong V11 AI. For goodness sake, that's been chucked out now. I think that's a Teacher Jia video. And Cubehead's doing a stream. I know Cubehead has done streaming, but he's got an interesting looking stream. We might take a look at that and see if we can work out who his special guest is going to be. But Dave Neville, it was Rice Timmy who did the Rubik's Timer. You're absolutely right. And here's a stupid question. Is Rice Timmy's channel, is that a sub-channel of Soup Timmy? Or am I just being massively ignorant? I couldn't tell. Chang, I should only have given one option for that poll. Nah, yeah, there we go. Yes is going 64. I'm a yes as well. I can't vote on that one, but I'm going to leave that running while I go. AA Cubing asking MSL today. Well, this will be another poll. We can either do MSL, or maybe we can do both. I don't know. I do have some stuff to do after this. Dave, is Soup Timmy's other channel? Is that what you're saying? Mango Cuber is saying yes. Are you agreeing with that as well? We'll clarify that. We can either do MSL or big news. Actually, big news. I got a PS5. Okay. I got a PS5. I finally have entered the current generation of console gaming. I am often a console or two behind, and I usually, like on my PS4, most of what I did was play PS1 and PS2 games. Same when I had a PS Vita. I live for that. I live for those late 90s, early 2000s games when I was really gaming hard, you know, before streaming existed, and I only dreamed about it. But the PS5 means that I now have my PS4 set up in here, and Charlie has got me into Fortnite, so it could be that we do some Fortnite later on in the stream. We could do that. I don't know if that's anything anyone cares about. I might just keep that to Scart Leads, the gaming channel, which is like barely exists, but I really want to start using it again if I can. Anyway, we should do some MSL today, and we might do a quick round of Fortnite. Maybe get some people to join me on Fortnite, and we can do a 4-person team or something. That would be quite fun. But anyway, I'm living in the future. I need to focus on the present, and the present is I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, so I'm going to go do that now. I'll be back very soon, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Bye. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay, I'm back. Oh, that music. I still haven't done a fade out on that. Hi everyone, I'm just gonna have a little snacky. Mango saying I've got to play some Minecraft. I do play a lot of Minecraft. I've never finished Minecraft, hey. I've got to the Nether. I've got to the Nether before, but I've never got to the end. I do play it a lot with my kids. Georgie's into her Minecraft arc now, so I'm playing a lot with her. The poll was your first cube a Rubik's brand. 59% saying yes. Excuse me. I thought it would have been more than that, honestly. Yum. Sorry, we don't want the plastic. Don't want that plastic crackling. That kills me on videos. Peace, Nick. Thanks for coming along. Appreciate ya. Right, I'll end the poll. Mango Key for Java or Bedrock Edition? I don't know. I'm playing a lot on Nintendo, honestly. I lost my login for the online one. And I don't even know what that is. I'm not that deep into Minecraft. How do I know if it's Java Edition or what? I don't even know, hey. You know what I need to do? Is I need to fix all my scenes. Because Discord cooks all my scenes. There must be a way to fix this. If anyone knows. Rumi, are you still in the chat? Do you know about how to make OBS play nice with Discord? Because I don't. There we go. Alright, there's... Oh, it's Kevin. Hello, Kevin. What do we want to do now? What do we want to do? Should we have a look at a video? I feel like a video after the break is a good idea. What do you guys do in Minecraft anyway? Do you... Because I'm really into just playing survival. I really like survival mode. But I know there's servers you can go on and run around and shoot each other to bits or whatever. Not shoot each other to bits, or fight with each other. I've noticed my kids are doing that now. They've worked this out. It's amazing how fast they work stuff out when left to their own devices. Because Georgie's been watching little videos on YouTube. And then she's been putting in the seed or whatever to like load up these particular servers. And I'm like, what? I've never done that. What's going on here? How is this 7-year-old way more over Minecraft than I am? Yum, 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 yum. Span the chat, everyone. What do we want to do? Do we want to look at this Rubik's timer? Or the StuCube vid? Or the Waylong V11 AI? Where are we going next? You can be my guide. Or MSL. Mango, we should run some Titanfall 2. Never played. What I'm excited for, the reason... not the reason I got the PS5. But I want to play... I feel like Marvel Rivals is something I'm missing out on. Because it's quite similar vein to Fortnite, right? It's just a 1v1, but you do it in teams. Is that how it works? I don't know. Like I say, I just want to speedrun Resident Evil 1 and 2 all day. That's all I want to do. That's the period of gaming I'm in. Or the period of gaming I love. Is like 1996 to 98. When all those hammers were around. I'll tell you what we should do before we move on is some ads. Oh, Christ. Hold on a minute. No, I'm not. The ads have not officially started yet. Until I sort this noise out. That was just a drill, everyone. I'm going to just copy that. And then I'm going to have to paste it in to all of these ones. Here we go. Bear with me, everyone. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. I fixed G Fuel, didn't I? But now it's a slightly different shape, and that makes me sad. There we go. Oh, and that one as well. Boop. Yes. Paste. All right. Boring. Hey, everyone, it's time for some ads. Seamless. Thank you very much to our sponsor, Speedcube Shop. Use code Cubecast to save 5%. Mango, are you at work? Has anyone used my code? It's been like a year now. I must have like $1 million sitting at Speedcube Shop. You can use code Cubecast at Cubing Life Academy to save 5% on all of their courses there as well. And I know people have been using my code there, which is great because I get an email every time it happens. Love that for me. Hey, I sell stuff too at speedcube.co.nz. That's where you can buy cube sauce, which is my range of lubes, which are really, really good to make your cube go burr. Okay? Where else can you buy cube sauce? I hear you cry. Well, let me tell you. You can buy it at speedcubing.org in the UK. You can buy it at Crafty Cube in Australia. And of course, new sponsor today. Huge news because they're not a cube company. This is massive, everyone. The stream is brought to you by G Fuel. Head to gfuel.com and use code Mike32314 to save 20% on their incredible Rubik's 50th anniversary collector's box. Gonna get one of those very, very soon, which is exciting stuff. Cannot wait. Thank you so much to the team at G Fuel for coming on board. Super appreciate it. Love you supporting cubing. Love to see it.
This part of the stream is sponsored by me. I know, huge downgrade. You're probably expecting Raid Shadow Legends or Squarespace, but I'm actually here to tell you about the code Cubecast, that is CUBECAST, that you can use at speedcubeshop.com for an absolutely plentiful discount on all of your orders. If you're going to want to be faster than a 6-year-old, you're going to need some good cubes. How do you buy good cubes? At Speedcube Shop with code Cubecast. I
want to be faster than a 6-year-old. Maybe if I use Cubecast, I'll be faster than a 6-year-old. That'd be good, hey. Mango, a Chipotle sponsorship would be baller. I've never had Chipotle. We don't have it in New Zealand. We do have Taco Bell, which I kind of like. Love that. Do we want to do... I think the StewCube vid is probably worth a look, hey. Because it's... I did watch it very briefly the other day. And we love StewCube's work. Oh, stuck tube. Oh wow! I nobody has spelt StewCube that incorrectly, ever. No, what's happening here? STUCUBE. StewCube, not Strutcube. It's like a bed company. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, YouTube. Why you do this? Why are you being like this? Why are you being like this? So StewCube made a video called How to Steal a World Championship. And I want to take a look. I want to take a look at this, okay? Oh, we're on mute. Let's no, that was the wrong one. I want this. Here we go. So this is where the story comes from. This is where the plot comes from in what we're talking about with the World Championships. This was Max Park winning the 2023 Worlds? Hey. Champion. What? There he is. Yeah, this is the 2023 Worlds. Max Park wins by 0. That was the one where he cried, wasn't it? Oof. That was tough. He was so tiny. He's just a little tiny boy. 0.01.
To the most shocking loss in the Rubik's Cube World Championships history, 9-year-old Yihen was invincible. Out of nowhere, securing rank 1 in Asia and becoming the youngest world #1
we
ever
all saw
just
it.
Months later.
We all saw it happening.
Was world champion. All he needed on this final song.
How's the volume, everyone? Let me know. I think it's good. I think our levels are good. What's up, James? Welcome along. Lovely to have you.
Was a 6.04. Something he had done
That's all
over
he needed.
80% of the time since the beginning of the year. 652 days later, after what's still regarded as the wildest finish in cubing history, these are Yihen Wang's odds to win the 2025 World Championship.
His odds are 83%? Those are some odds. Those are some odds. Dang.
Yihen is so far ahead of everyone else that his odds of winning are 115 times higher than current world champion Max.
Max has a 1.24% chance. These are great stats, Stu. I love that.
In a field where the median age of predicted finalists is 17, this is unlike anything we've ever seen. But that's without the kid who's 3 years younger than him.
Here he is. Here's the threat. This is the threat.
Xuanyi just stole the world record from Yihen, and despite how absurdly unexpected this moment was,
Look at him.
it's not the reason he's about to
just
become the
tiny.
youngest world champion
Did he say 7 years old? Is that what I just saw there?
than him. 8-year-old Xuanyi just stole the world record from Yihen, and despite how absurdly unexpected this moment was, it's not the reason he's about to become the youngest world champion ever.
It's
because
not?
Xuanyi is improving at an inhuman rate. I've heard people talk
tell me,
about
Stu.
Xuanyi's improvement, but nobody has any idea how absurd it actually is. Current world champion Max Park has seen a tiny, almost unnoticeable amount of improvement since beating Yihen in 2023, and ranks 3
basically
and
the
4,
same.
Timon and Ruiheng's improvement shows just how difficult it is to get faster once
Okay, hold on. So Max improved by 0.1 second. Ruiheng's improved by 0.1 second. Timon is improved by 0.3. That's telling.
you reach their
But what's
level. Timon has
Xuanyi done?
improved the most out of the three, but current number 1 in the world Yihen Wang has seen what many have described to be the
3.9,
single
right?
fastest
3.9?
improvement rate in cubing history.
4.7.
He was already world
4.7. Doesn't he? He's got a 3.9 average now, right?
number 1 when he lost.
Maybe
in
I'm misunderstanding the
2023,
stats.
But going into his
It
chance
happens.
at redemption, he somehow hasn't slowed down at all. And then there's the 8-year-old child who will be the
So hold on. Yiheng's improved by 0.5 seconds.
doom of us all. Because directly
The
after
doom of
Worlds
us all.
2023, Xuanyi wasn't remotely close to Yiheng's level. And to be fair, no one won.
Yeah, but he was 5. So, you know.
But over the course of the last 19 months, Xuanyi has reached a rate of improvement that more than doubles Yiheng's. We have
Double A cubing. This is global average. I beg your pardon. Okay, all right. That's so I am misunderstanding.
never seen
I do
a
that a lot.
progression rate.
So Xuanyi, we've got 6.3, 5.3. So 2.5 seconds. Look at that, everyone. Whoo.
Remotely close to this one. Because for 99% of people who even reach sub 6, there's usually a huge plateau before they get anywhere near 5.5. Yihen was the first to disprove this by smashing through both the 5.5 and 5 flat barriers with ease. But even then, not nearly as quickly as Xuanyi did. And the scary part is that he's not slowing down at all.
All right, so I mentioned to Kevin earlier on, I want Yihen to win for the story, but if I had $100 right now and I had to put it on someone to win, I think I'd put it on Xuanyi. Honestly, if I was putting money down today, I'd put it on Xuanyi. That's my hot take. Is this poll worthy? Is this poll worthy? I reckon it might be. Who's your $100 on? Just to continue the metaphor here. Xuanyi or Yihen? Who's your $100 on, everyone? You've got $100. I'm not trying to glorify gambling, just to be clear, and I'm not suggesting you should put any money on anyone. But let's say in Minecraft, all right, you've got $100 in Minecraft. Okay, who are you putting it on? Is it Xuanyi or Yihen?
Xuanyi continues downward
Feel
at
free
this
to argue
insane
with me.
trajectory. The terrifying thing people will begin to realize is that no one alive right now might ever catch him, which leads us to believe that there has to be something different about Xuanyi, something that nobody in
He's a robot. I knew it. He's built different. He's literally built.
the history of the sport has ever had. You see, Xuanyi is actually at the top of a different list that tends to indicate when someone is going to be really, really good. On a stage like the World Championship Final, where just 5 solves determine your fate, There's a stat that's extremely telling in terms of who's most reliable in
Okay.
these moments.
Tell me,
At the
Steve.
top of a list comparing the consistency levels of
Who's
the fastest
clutch?
in the world. It's a lot closer than you might think. Of course, Yihen's still in the top 3, and even more consistent than him is Timon Kołaszyński.
Okay, what is this stat? How consistent people are. Not sure. I'm not sure of the mathematics as to how we got here, but I trust Stu.
Which shouldn't come as a surprise since he finished 3rd at the 2023 World Championship. But the most consistent speedcuber on the planet is Xuanyi, with an average variance between results of
Average variance between results. Okay.
0.36. It's not just a theory. In a head-to-head situation like the World Championship, Xuanyi will be more consistent than Yihen. Less of a chance to get an unusually good average, but also less of a chance to do this when it matters most.
Standard deviation, Dave's saying. It's something like that. Deviation. Okay, people are saying deviation in the chat. I believe you. I believe you. Chang would spend $100 on the GAN 2x2 UI. Yeah, fair. Chang also, he uses ZB, so unless he is like super lucky, he's not going to smash another record for a while. He's consistent, but not quite sub 4. Mango Cuber, it's going to come down to the experience at that level. Xuanyi hasn't felt that kind of pressure before. I have a hot take on that, excuse me. I have a hot take on that Xuanyi's so young, I don't know, because I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. But there is a certain, not naivety, but I think potentially at that young level, before you fully understand the world around you, and before you fully understand the stakes of what you're involved in, parents in the chat might have thoughts on this. So, you're 8 years old. Are you really equipped to understand the pressure in the same way that someone in their teens is? How old is Yihen now? How old is Yihen Wang? How old is Yihen? 11. Okay, so he's not even a teenager, for goodness sake. Born in 2013. Ridiculous. He was born when Kevin was peaking. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's my hot take on that one.
But how? How is he more consistent than everyone else?
How?
While also improving faster than everyone else? Well, because no matter how insane this might seem to say, Xuanyi
Go
was,
ahead.
from the very beginning, designed to be impossible to beat.
Designed.
Xuanyi and
Designed.
Timon,
Built different. Designed. He's a robot. I knew it.
two most consistent cubers in the world, both use the ZB method.
Oh,
label
this
that's
is a
pretty
ZB
much
vid.
impossible
All right,
to
okay,
compete
fine.
with at a high level up until around a year ago. The only way to reach this level of consistency is to use the ZB method. It's a
How many arguments about ZB's the meta, like unquestionably ZB is the meta right now. Like every one of these videos comes down to, oh, this person uses ZB, so they're gonna win. I feel like that's been the chatter in these videos from so many creators for so long. Chang hears me on my take. My 7-year-old performed 20 seconds better at comp than her home average. Far more focused at comp than being at home. That's interesting. Mango, crazy how I've been cubing longer than some of these kids have been alive. Yeah, I've been cubing longer than Xuanyi's been alive. That's ridiculous. James also not buying the narrative that your level of experience directly translates to being better in finals. I mean, time will tell. We may all be
the
proved
miracle
right or
Yihen
wrong.
is even up here to begin with, because he doesn't use it. But this ranking is also very telling
doesn't
as
ZB.
to how Xuanyi has achieved this absurd improvement arc. Here's the thing, it's basically impossible for him to ever hit a wall in improvement, because he's going down a path that no one has ever taken before. Xuanyi simply won't plateau at the same spot as anyone else before him. It's easy to say there will always be someone younger who will just come and overtake
who's
Xuanyi,
this?
but when you start at age 4, with the most complex method and an immediate focus on being the best in the world, how could there be? He is the perfect example of what happens when perfect knowledge meets a perfect situation. With the highest odds to take down the most dominant Rubik's Cube solver of all time.
That is such a fascinating chart, that one. This is so good. And he did source the stats. Oh, here we go. Thanks to Nicholas McKee. Shout out Nicholas McKee for his odds prediction calculator based on WCA results at odds.nmckee.org. All right, yeah, go and have a look at that, everyone. Go and have a look at that.
time at
Chang's still waiting for the
21%,
revolution.
has put us in a situation where the likelihood of anyone not named Xuanyi or Yihen winning Worlds is so small, it would quite literally be a miracle. But that's just
it,
if
eh?
we use
Patrick Ponce, you're in that 11%.
results from the last 12 months. If we go even more recent, like the last 6 months, Xuanyi's odds increase because of how fast he's improving. In fact, exactly 6 months ago, we actually saw these two go head-to-head at the 2024 Asian Championship, where we learned a lot about how they might perform under pressure at Worlds. Xuanyi was seemingly unfazed, getting a result that was around his average at the time. Good enough for second place. But who came in first place? Oh yeah, Yihen Wang somehow outperformed all expectations and shattered every narrative about him crumbling under pressure by pulling off one of his fastest averages ever in the highest pressure situation since he lost Worlds.
And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with Kevin. Like, I feel like Yihen must have done a bunch of work on nerves. Like, he must be, same, just what Kevin said, he must just be doing comp sim so hard at the moment and just like practicing for that pressure. I wonder what his training is like at the moment, you know, in the lead up to it. I'm so hyped for Worlds. I'm genuinely really excited. It's probably the first time, because I've been watching all this stuff so closely on with the stream and everything. I'm so hyped for Worlds.
That only one other person
has
bloody
beaten
it since then. That person is, of course, Xuanyi. While Yihen or Xuanyi are almost guaranteed to win with over 90% odds to do so, there is just one thing that could give literally anyone else a tiny chance. What very few people noticed is that in 2023, 4 out of world champion Max Park's 5 solves were done starting with either white or yellow. It seemed that everyone, including Yihen and Xuanyi, were disregarding the other 4 colors to allow for more focus on...
Color neutral is dead, everyone. Color neutral is dead. It's all about ZB and white and yellow. I'm not the first person, and Stu's not the first person who's made this argument. I've heard this talked about a lot. I've heard Dylan Miller talking about it. I've heard... Oh, what's his chops? Swagrid, I think. Swagrid talking about this. And various other people as well. Where's the poll at? Who are people putting their $100 on? Yihen. Okay. We will find. We will see where that goes. An interesting comment from from James. The 12 months versus 6 months thing is especially funny when you use that tool to look at clock. Let us know. I would be interested to see that. Make a video, James. Make a video about the clock stats. That would be good. I would watch that.
This is the strategy that is agreed upon to be the most successful at the highest level. So if colors other than white or yellow are especially good, the fight for third becomes much more than what it sounds, because arguably the 2 main candidates for the final podium spot both solve on all 6 colors instead of just white or yellow. This makes Matti Hiroto Inaba and Timon Koloshinsky the wild cards for the 2025 World Championship.
So, wait, so Xuanyi and Yihen are still color neutral? Is that what Stu just said?
Timon comes in...
Hold on, there's chapters here. Where are we? We are at fight for third. Okay.
This makes Matti Hiroto Inaba and Timon Koloshinsky, because in white or yellow are especially good, the Millers allow for more focus on just those 2. This is the strategy that is agreed upon to be the most successful at the highest level. So if colors other than white or yellow are especially good, the fight for third becomes much more than what it sounds.
Oh, this is the fight for third. Okay,
arguably the 2 main candidates for the final podium spot both solve on all 6 colors instead of just white or yellow. This makes Matti Hiroto Inaba and Timon Koloshinsky the wild cards for the 2025 World Championship. Timon comes in right behind Yihen and Xuanyi, but Matty's given him an insane run for his money on multiple occasions, and is still due for a result that's representative of how good he actually is.
Matty's also moved to the mainland now. He's come to New York, right? Or New York-ish. So he's going to go to a bunch more comps.
Could it be possible, in some reality, that colors other than white or yellow are so good that it gives Matti and Timon the opportunity of a lifetime?
So Stu's saying that... Oh no, the opposite of what I thought. I think they're saying... I think Stu's saying that Yihen and Xuanyi are focused on the... Oh, Matty's in the chat. Matty, what am I missing here? My brain's so small. Is he saying that Xuanyi and Yihen are focused on white and yellow, and that you and Timon are able to choose whatever?
But he knows when
that
Xuanyi
feels
is
like
going
what
to
he's
hit his
saying.
peak. The level of pressure Yihen is facing is one he's never seen before.
Matty's
he's
sorry.
fighting for a win.
Xuanyi's going to take the world record average
Xuanyi is in the
this year. Calling it. Timestamp it. Send it. Clip it. I'm calling it. Xuanyi gets world record average this year.
perfect position with absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if he somehow does end up pulling it off, the title of youngest world champion ever will quite literally be his forever. You know what else can be yours forever? My merch. It's right down there. Just came out, shout out Speedcube Shop.
Nicely
use code
done.
Stu. And if you
I
do,
disagree. Use code
I will
Cubecast.
gift you. That's off the dome, by the way. It's right across the chest. I can always remind you every single day.
Now use code. Go and buy Stu Cube's merch and use code Stu.
That you are.
All right.
Fact, still slower than a 6-year-old somehow.
I still average under my age, but I'm not in kindergarten. Right, James is staying. James the Brain. Here we go. Yihen and Xuanyi are not color neutral, so if white-yellow scrambles are bad, then it gives color neutral solvers an advantage. Thank you, James. I think I did get there eventually, but thank you for that clarification. Appreciate it. Dave Neville, Xuanyi can't get sub 4 this year. Yeah, he can. Yeah, I'm calling it. I reckon he can. Based on just vibes. Chang still rooting for Marty. Marty and Abba. Good to have you here, Marty.
Also,
okay.
Shout out Aaron Neesmith, man. If you know, you know. I predicted Pacers in 5 both.
Oh, okay.
Times.
Football stuff? Football stuff? Pacers?
So
is that a football team?
In the NBA
I don't know. Is that weird rugby stuff?
In 4. Yeah, in 4. But yeah, I don't know why I said that. If you keep it with the NBA, you vibe with that. But anyway.
Oh, NBA, I beg your pardon. Whoops. I'm bad at sports that are not rugby. Yeah. Okay. Those stats are great. I love that. I love this one. I love how dominant the wee man is here. The wee man. This is the wee man. Yihen. This is the wee man. Wee, wee man. All right. Pacers basketball. Thank you, everyone. Sorry. I don't pay attention to basketball at all, hey. No hate, I just don't. There's only so much time in the day to be looking at stuff. If you do not subscribe to StuCube, then you have a malfunctioning brain, and I need you to go ahead and do that immediately, okay? That gets a new. That gets a new. That gets a pin. That gets a pin. For goodness sake, go and subscribe to StuCube. I'm sure you have already. Who hasn't? Only 22k views on this one. All right, well, we'll hold back on the VOD for this one. I don't want to steal a single view from our man. Oh, there we are. The poll. What was the? Did I do the poll? Yeah, you all reckon $100 on the wee man, on Yihen. I'll be putting it on the wee man. If anyone would take my money. Tacos man, I subbed 2 years ago. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, so what did we learn? The stats say Yihen has the biggest chance. Xuanyi has the biggest chance of being the upset. Is what we're learning. That's what we're learning. I cannot wait to watch it. I genuinely. That is my takeaway from the build up to Worlds this year. I really think what's different about the build up to Worlds this year? I don't know. I don't know if I took part in much of the build up to Worlds last time because I was having a rough time. My head wasn't particularly in cubing at all. And I didn't really pay much attention. But is there a different vibe leading up to Worlds this year? Or is that just me perceiving it because I'm paying more attention to it this year? Short answer, don't know. But I feel like, obviously there's a huge outcome from Worlds last year. which was that upset, the Max Park upset. Where's Max in the psych sheet? I don't think we'll see Max on the podium. I just don't think we'll see Max on the podium. I'd like to, but I don't think we're going to see Max on the podium, honestly. No hate. But I just don't think it's going to happen. He's psych sheet says number 5. But I don't think it's going to happen, Chang, I'm translating. Is that supposed to say Yihen losing WR so recently makes it pretty exciting? Yep. That's fair. And the single for sure. But that average, his WR average is still it's nearly half a second ahead of the wee one, of the wee one, the wee one. 0.4 seconds. If he can do that on the day, then it's GG's. Chang, I'm sorry to hear about your racist iPhone. Max has 1 sub-5 average, Max has 1 sub-5 average. He averaged 6 in comp, okay. Mango Cuber with coming in with the stats. Did you know that the most common first name at Worlds this year is Jacob? I did not know that. Good to know. Okay, James has sent me a link here. Let's just have you done the odds calculation? Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, is this all right? So here we are. This is odds. Was it Nathan McKee? Odds.nmckee.org. Here you go. I'll give you the guys the link if you wanna have a play around. Here's the link. How does this work? Let's have a look. So 3x3 cube. Let's go clonk. Simulation count. What? From June 24 to June 25. Result decay half-life. This is way out of my depth, everyone. Okay, let's run the simulation and see what it does. Calculating. So what have I calculated? The results for Rubik's WCA World Championship 2025. Ooh, this is good, isn't it? Can we get this bigger? It's hidden behind the chat. I am sorry. So, this is the last year for the last year of results gives Vladimir a 42% chance of winning, and it gives Lockie a 24% chance of winning. Alrighty. And you said, James, that running 6 months was a completely different story, hey? This is a great website. It's really, if I can work out how to use it, then it's definitely well designed. July, August, September, October, November, December. So December, let's say December 1st to June 2025. So that's 6 months. Do we agree? Let's run the simulation on that. That gives Vladimir 41 and Lockie 37. Was that much different? I can't remember. What did Lockie have the last time? This is cool. All right. What else do we want to look up on here? This is good. This is very cool. Odds.nmckee.org. It's just like a pure WCA stats odds generator. Let's just do this year, because Lockie popped off in January, didn't he? That's when he got his biggies. January 1st to June 30th. Include DNFs? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Run simulation. Yeah, okay, so there we are. That's wild, isn't it? If you just do it from January to now, Lockie's the favorite. My boy, Lockie Gibson. He's got an 86% chance of being on the podium. His average rank is 2.23. His expected average is 2.97. Oh, Dave, that is 6 months. Yeah, you're right, because it's almost the end of June. Durr. Results histogram. Ooh, my brain. You can look at that if you want. What else do we want to look at? What? This is cool. This is sick. Let's find out if Cheggers is gonna win, or if Tommy Cherry's gonna win. Ooh. Let's do that over a year. Tommy Cherry 38%, Charlie Eggins with a 31. That's cool. Dave Neville, where's Sebastian Stone? That's a valid question. Where the heck is old mate Seb Stone? January 1st to June the 30th. Is he in here? No. Maybe he doesn't have enough results. I don't see him anywhere. Sebastian Stone, here he is. Let's pop. Okay, so I can put him in there. God dang, Mr. McKee, this is great. Eric Kasparek. Okay, so look away, Sebastian. Look away. It says 0.06. Fun fact, Lockie has gotten OCR or better every comp this year except Milford. And at Milford, he was 0.01 off WR. Double A cubing, what's the OH odds for Patrick? All right, I got you. La 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 la. Where is the OH? Oh, one-handed, there we are. Let's just do it over the year. Luke Garrett looks like he's... Oh, now! This is interesting, isn't it? Dwayne with a 10% chance. Nicholas Archer with a 33. Where's Ponce here with 8.43% chance of the win. Dave saying, boo, Sebastian's getting a podium. I'd love to see it. Nicholas Archer. That is a name I don't recognize. Why am I... What's wrong with my head and my brains? Who the heck is this? Nicholas Archer from the UK? Oh. Wait, where was OH? I was looking at... Oh, here he is. Yeah, here we go. Okay. He's got the WR8. He's got the WR2 average. How did I miss this? I completely missed this. Nicholas Archer. Nicholas Archer. OHWR. Did he have the world record? 3 months ago, 7.95. That's the one, wasn't it? 7.95. Wait a minute, we need to watch this and do a little reaction review here, everyone. Am I not... Okay, doy, I'm not subscribed to Nicholas Archer. What an idiot. OH is very split, James. That's gonna be one to watch. For sure. Are we gonna see some... Yeah, we're seeing some Rue here, aren't we? No, we're not. Is he C-fopping? Is that what I just saw? Double A cubing, oh... Archer had WR before Luke. Oh! How did I not know this? How am I just finding this out now? No, that was Rue, wasn't it?
Yep.
And yeah, he's pretty comfortably the best OH'er in the world. Okay. I do not know how I missed this.
8 seconds.
That's cringe. It was Rue, eh? I couldn't spot it in that first one. I thought that was just a perm. But he do be Ruin. Yeah, there we go. I see it now. I saw the blocks that time. 7-6. Well, gosh dang. Chang representing the Rue gang in the chat. Love to see it. Hey, go subscribe to Nicholas Archer, everyone. Let's get this man closer to a K, hey? We cannot... It's simply... I cannot accept that that a previous world record, like WR2, does not have 1,000 subscribers. That's disgusting. Go and subscribe to Nicholas Archer right now and comment on his video and tell him Mike sent you. Like. Oh, he's done it. He's done it. I wonder where this was. What is this diabolical audio? Alt view on the reaction. Whoa, delegate's right on the case. Let's go, delegate. Did you see that? He's like, back off. Yeah, got it. Shut up, everyone. Dave Neville, the 27 viewers will really help him out, yeah. Well, the two of you that aren't already subscribed. I'm sure you'll see that. Okay. That's embarrassing that I didn't know who Nicholas Archer was. See, it still happens. I'm always looking for channels I'm not subscribed to, for YouTube channels, YouTube channels that I'm not subscribed to. So this is a really close one for OH. Chance of winning for Nicholas, 33. Max is there. Why aren't these in order? Nicholas Archer. Okay, there's Dwayne and Patrick. Oh, right. Oh, I see. I thought that was the same color. My stupid eyes. I couldn't tell the difference. So we got Nicholas with a 33% chance of winning. Max second. Dwayne has odds just over Sean Patrick Villanueva. Then Roy Hang. Then Patrick. Patrick's in with a shot. How's Garrett down here? That's wild. Stats are fun, hey? A world record holder is in with a 4.8% chance. Bolt cubing is watching at school right now. I endorse this behavior. Okay, what a cool tool. Go and check out odds.nmckee.org. I'll have to make sure when I do the VOD, which I'll do in a couple of days for this one, I'll have to make sure that I've got that link in the description as well. That's cool, eh? Right, let's take a look at this Rice Timmy video. So we established that Rice Timmy is a sub-channel of oh yeah, he's right there. He's literally on one of the thumbnails. This is very cool. Everyone.
We have the leaked Rubik's timers in their packaging. They showed this off last year at 2024, the North American Championships. But
so this is not the first sighting.
They never had any news from there, but now, finally...
spoiler, Rice Timmy commits an actual crime in this video. And I'm going to call him out when it happens, because it's so disrespectful. It actually made me wince. I physically winced. I'll let you know when it happens.
Secret package.
Get your feelings on it.
So I hope you guys enjoy this first look. So we have carrying case with the
This is the little timer display.
And then we got the actual timer.
That's nice.
I've been also told that the timer goes up to 99 minutes.
That's good for me.
What are you guys gonna
I can do 7x7 on this timer. Hooray!
Timing, but maybe if you're doing 10 blind, this would be useful. We have the mat. It's about the same size as a mini mat.
And he busts out a Soup Timmy mat as well. I should have never ever been in doubt.
Longer.
That's a great design. I like that one.
So
does Soup Timmy do his own designs? Does he draw? Because his stuff's all cool. His logos and everything.
And then there's also an inspection mode here as well for 15 seconds. So
that's very cool.
You can turn this on for inspection mode. So with the eye inspection mode. But what's
nice
cool
big screen on there as well, eh?
2 hands on it. There's a green light that shows big green, unlike the stack mat timer where it just has a small green, but this one is full. It has full red too as well.
So just from a design perspective, purely based on what I'm seeing, I don't know why we wouldn't use these in competitions. Obviously they need to be road tested, we like or I think the main feature of the speed stacks timers, and the reason we still use them is that they are very, very robust and they last a long time. You know, over the Qi timers or the Yihen timers or any of that kind of stuff. But this is made by arguably the biggest normie recognized brand in Rubik's cubes, in twisty puzzles. I don't see why we wouldn't be using these. It seems like a really obvious partnership, and this is what's making me wonder if speed stacks are shaking. You know what I mean? And look at that big old display, the great big lights on it and everything. The buttons are out the way. It's going to be very hard to press those accidentally.
Wish it was like maybe a couple second hold. To comparison with the...
Oh, yeah, so that's what it doesn't have on the G5. I think he's about to show us. It's just got an instant reset, but the button's on the side, so it's really difficult to press that by accident.
G5 timer. It's about the same height for like starting, stopping. About maybe the Rubik's one is definitely lower for sure.
It's lower on the front, so it's maybe not so fingertip.
Actually, I can noticeably tell that this is like smaller when timing it, but that's probably because we do like thousands of solves, so we're like used to the G5s.
Sure.
So yeah, inspection mode. We can just turn this on.
Inspection mode's a neat trick.
And we can do the.
You don't need it.
And it will show 1, 2, 3. And what's cool is when you hit 8 seconds, it will change color. Yep, there we go, yellow.
So no audio. It'd be nice to have it yell at you. 12.
Red.
You know?
And then now let's see what happens if it turns past 15. Oh, DNF.
See,
that's
it's
cool. So that's how you know you're DNF'd.
It's good for it's WCA set already with the inspection mode. Not that you would use the inspection mode in competition. You still need judges and all that kind of stuff to do that. Mango, that's interesting. I don't like the design of the timer. It doesn't give the vibe of speed. I disagree. It looks kind of slick. Like I'm definitely getting fast. I'm definitely feeling fast from the design of it.
You have to reset it.
Is that actually Cubehead in the chat? Hello, sir.
Connect the timer display.
Cubehead, I would love to talk to you on the stream if that is actual Cubehead. I don't know what the best way to get in touch with you is without getting drowned out by 1,000 Timmies. So if you can let me know, you can find me on Discord, just speedcube.co.nz. If you want to flick me a message on Discord, that would be epic. I would love to get you on to chat because obviously we had someone talking about you on the episode a couple of weeks ago. So it'd be awesome to get your perspective. Anyway, carry on. This is so cool. I'm sorry, but this little display is so sick. Now here it is. What was that? Why? Look at this wonderful box. Look, lovely little cut foam. Absolutely beautiful. And then a crime is committed. Why? That kills me, sir. That kills me. That absolutely kills me. That was a perfectly good carry case for the timer, for the display.
Okay, so yes, kind of like a tripod.
And
very
Soup
light.
Timmy is just like, get that out of there.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay.
Good test.
Yeah.
Soup Timmy versus Gravity.
Has these cool Rubiks.
That's very cute. We love that.
Okay, so installing, just twist it.
I was fully expecting this to be a Bluetooth thing.
Very quick to do. Yep. Oh wow.
Cubehead's got one of these as well.
It's like when you twist it, it has
How
like,
cute is the timer,
there's a
Cubehead?
walking mechanism. So unlike if you have experience with cameras, you gotta keep twisting sometimes, and there's like no click, but this one has like a nice click to it when you like go all the way.
That is cool. I appreciate those little details, you know. But yeah, I was fully just, I don't know why, but I think just because of the shape of it, and also because it's 2025, quite frankly, I was like, oh, this will be a Bluetooth connection.
Okay, and then now we have the wire.
Another reason why I think it's viable for comps, it's got a lovely little wire channel, little wire track. Keeps it all neat and tidy, pokes it out the side. We love to see that.
Kind of like
I love the yellow. Yeah, there you go. Use your 90 on that one.
We can connect this. So
John Baxter with a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Walker. you
This
have
comes with batteries.
got a free membership.
Yes, it comes with batteries. So inspection mode
Comes
is
with
on,
batteries is a
zero, but
nice
it
touch.
Did not have inspection mode. I think.
Cubehead's saying he doesn't like it because of the shape of the timer. It is interesting, isn't it? Because usually you've got your hands like, hold on, where are we? You've got your hands angled down towards the cube, where this one kind of points them up. So I feel like, again, not a pro, but I feel like that is going to be a big change. Thanks, John. Peace. Catch you later. I need to send you my new Xbox name so we can play Halo. I feel like fingers pointing up is going to be a big change for the pros. Did you find that, Milan? May I call you Milan? I don't know you. Cubehead, did you find that? Was it the angle is going to be a big change for people? I know people don't like pros who are grinding, just like Soup Timmy's saying, people who are grinding, you know, hundreds of solves in a session are going to, I think, find that a really big change. I just want to know, and I'll ask again, because the chat, different people will be in the chat now. I want to know how long WCA is locked in with speed stacks. You know? Because I feel like if I was running WCA, and I'm absolutely not, and I should never be allowed to, but if I was running WCA, I'd be looking at this product and I'd be going, hot dang, this is a really obvious partnership that we should have over speed stacks. Because speed stacks is fine, speed stacks is great, whatever. They do have a bit of a monopoly. But I feel like Rubik's gives money to WCA competitions. Speed stacks, I don't know what speed stacks, what is the extent of the deal? Like, do speed stacks support the WCA financially? I've never seen their name as a sponsor on any major championships, unless I'm mistaken. I don't think I've ever seen their name as a sponsor on any major, but I've always seen Rubik's. So I feel like, well, this is obvious. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I often am. I don't like to admit it, but it does happen. And this is not, I should say, there is a full size. I think Soup Timmy, Rice Timmy is going to get into it. I think there is a full size display for this as well. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it literally matches what's on the screen.
But
so I assume.
Yeah, what was I saying? Can't remember.
Like,
Chang, maybe Rubik's would give free timers to WCA. They might do, you know?
Oh, that's so
They
cool.
might do.
So maybe
but
in the future, when we have
Cubehead was saying, yes, that's the exact reason why I do not like it. Change is hard. People don't like change. Maybe Chang, yeah, a third of the timer displays here are broken or on its way out. Yeah, I wonder how power intensive this little baby boy is, you know?
So it's like more spectator friendly. That's cool. Would it say DNF?
I cannot see inspection mode being, that would be way too egregious a change to put into the regs to have inspection mode.
Past 15, 16, DNF. Oh, that's cool. It tells you when you DNF as well. Let's see a timing simulation. So inspect. Yeah.
Okay, Flex.
So it does display it. Cool. Right now, let's do off the inspection mode.
So it displayed the inspection mode.
Oh wait, I was supposed to solve. Oh, okay. I thought it was inspection mode too.
What a goober! I love it.
Okay, yeah, and then reset just one tap of a button.
Cubehead Speed Stacks does not sponsor WCA. I know that for a fact, and I think, and they don't get free timers. Every regional organization has to buy their timers. Like now, obviously, asking Rubik's to give all regional organizations timers would be just such a huge ask. Oh, I'm gonna rant again. I can feel it coming. I'm probably hungry. I'm gonna rant again. Okay. Rubik's have done something cool here, I think. Okay, first of all. But I think they've done something at the same time which is very uncool, okay? Just based on the angle, this is purely based on the angle of the pads. Cubehead has given this feedback. Just from looking at it, I'm feeling like this was the first thing I spotted as well. Although there's patents to think about. But anyway, let me finish my thought. I feel like if Rubik's had asked the WCA, then the WCA may well have said, you should have it this way. These are our regs. This is how it works. You know? You should do it like this. The pads should be angled like this. They wouldn't have done 4-pad because that's patented by SpeedStacks. They would never have done 4-pad. And 4-pad's a whole other thing that you can whine and moan and argue about. I don't care. I think if they had worked with the WCA on this, I don't know that they haven't, but I feel like they can't have because of that angle. I wonder, this could have been a collaboration, right? Rubik's and WCA. And again, brings me back to paid staff at the top of WCA whose job it is to handle big partnerships and big brand deals and big things like this, like huge top-level decisions. I feel like could be done better if we had someone whose job it was to handle those things. I'm bringing multiple arguments in at once here. But I feel like, just looking at this, I'm guessing Rubik's didn't work with WCA on this. If that is true, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Could happen in the future. They might do a V2. Who knows? But again, overall, great thing for cubing. We see these in Kmart. We see these in the warehouse here in New Zealand. What shops do you have in America? I don't know. What are the shops in America? Walmart. Target? Are those American shops? Yeah, I think so. You know, seeing wherever you buy Rubik's Cubes, there's now a very good chance that Spin Master, who own Rubik's, and Paw Patrol, and other things, Tech Deck, Spin Master are going to want these in those shops with Rubik's Cubes. So now, you know, people are out in the toy shops, in the general toy shops, seeing not only cubes, but like cube competition stuff. And also Rubik's moving into the speed range with the rebranded GAN stuff. I'm going on and on now. I'm yapping. But do you see what I mean? Like, I feel like this could have been a really good collaboration. And there is almost certainly context that I'm missing and details that I'm missing. So whatever, flame me. I don't care.
That's pretty nice.
See?
I love the
pretty nice.
lightweight feel. The plastic feels really nice.
I love how yellow it is. I love the yellow. Cubehead, funny thing, actually, I was going to make a video just like Timmy's, but then he came out with this video. I mean, you should do one as well. Roast it.
For sure. Okay, now let's see the carrying case. Would this all fit? That was
now that we've
nice
ruined the carry case,
well.
Let's see how much stuff we can jam
out if this actually goes to 99 minutes. So, all right, we're going to go to the gym now. So we're going to time this.
99 minutes, I think, is also an inspired move, because now it can be used for timing all sorts of different things that take longer than 10 minutes. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool, especially for goobers like me trying to do Megaminx and 7x7 and even probably even 6x6. Actually, I want something that goes over 10 minutes because I suck. Cubehead, the mat is too small for me personally. That could be a cube issue, sir. A skill issue. Got him. I think I would have liked to see it rechargeable as well. I think I would have liked to see it rechargeable with like a USB-C, you know, so that we can just have them all powered at competitions, and delegates would like that.
Okay, so now that we test that this went
but then that's a more expensive
let's
product.
pack this up and...
Cubehead, do we have a price on this? Do you have any idea what the price would be?
See how nicely we can do it. I wish it was like more flexible in a way. Like,
listen, he's got a case. He has a case for this case. It would have been nice to see a nice foam cut case that got everything.
I wish it fit more perfectly.
That's valid. This is just abominable.
Come on, slightly. Okay, so maybe we gotta like put it sideways like that.
Because yeah, you get a nice foam carry case for the display, but not for the timer itself.
Wrap up the timer, and then close this up.
Rechargeable would be a
and
nightmare
we
for
can probably put a
storage.
cube in here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm packing this like quickly, just like pretending.
Do you mean just for
you're
like
at a
battery
con, your
degradation and
mom's
stuff?
Screaming at you to come home. And then we can close this. Oh, and it works as a carry case. Pretty nice, convenient. All right, so I don't know when this is going to be exactly released, but I hope you enjoy this leak. Maybe we could see this at the World Championships this year, but yeah, enjoy this leak. Bye.
So we're we're still calling it a leak. It is not currently available. Hey, that's me. I don't often say this, but dang, Rubik's might have killed it with this one. Is that the sound of SpeedStacks shaking? I haven't seen these. I agree with you so much on this one. Looking forward to see this in retail or online. Yes, finally we can send SpeedStacks into the ash heap of patent trolling monopolistic companies. Not my words, the words of Shish Kebab 422. This is so sick. I think so. I think this could be a thing. Yeah, Chang, I see what you're saying about the rechargeable. If one is left near 0% left in storage for too long, you could cook the battery. Yeah. I hear that. I wonder how many Halo timers have gone down that route, you know, and the GAN Halo timer. I wonder how many we've lost to just being stored poorly. I lost a couple of drill batteries because I stored them in my shed, Chang. I left them for about 6 months on zero charge and then could not recharge them, and that cost me like about $150 for a couple of new drill batteries. That was painful. Here's Alex, friend of the show, Alex Mass. Looks amazing. Only issues I see is maybe the bigger pads could be bad for sliding. It is almost like you could argue that it's almost like made for sliding, isn't it, with that angle? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish, if it hasn't happened, I don't know that it hasn't happened, but if I wish they had worked more closely. Can I just say as well, with the packaging, 22.9, I feel so seen. I feel so very seen with this 22.9. That speaks to me as a as a 21 average. I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you, Rubik's. I feel that. Cubehead saying they never really told me the price, but they said a couple things that it sounds like 30 to 40 euros, so about 30 to 50 US. Is that just for the timer? USD to NZD. I know this doesn't make sense to like 90% of people watching, but like, what did you say? 40 to 50? 30 to 50. So let's cut it in half and say 40. So that'd be about 60. Okay, so that's about the price of a SpeedStacks timer. All right. I want one because the display is very cute, everyone. Like that display is super cute. He didn't say it in the video, but I'm sure maybe it was on the Reddit that in r/newcubes that I saw someone talking about how there is a large scale display for it as well. But you could use any display because it's using the same audio signal system with the cable as anything else. So these should be mixy matchable, right? But Rubik's, all right, so I've already pretended I'm running the WCA. Let's pretend for a second I'm running Rubik's. They're probably standing back as normies looking at SpeedCube competitions and going, we're missing a huge opportunity here. Nobody's going to use our cubes. Let's be realistic. Nobody wants to use our cubes or even our rebranded GAN cubes at the top level. But what's the one thing everyone has in front of them at a cube competition where we could that's advertising real estate or promotional real estate, branding real estate? It's the timers. So I think probably someone at Rubik's is sitting watching cube comps and going, there's money sitting on the table here. We are missing out on impressions here. We could be getting hella impressions and moving some product here as they see, because of the work that's being done in cubing by Speedcubing TV and PSL. and things like that. I think there's probably a brain sitting at Rubik's, because I'll tell you what, there's one thing Spin Master understands. It's selling stuff to kids. All right? Like, they are very good at selling stuff to kids. And they have all the merchandising hookups with all the toy stores and the supermarkets and the department stores and all that kind of noise. I think there's a brain at Rubik's going, this is a space we need to get into. UK Cuber, do you think Rubik's... Oh, right, okay, I think we've probably said this at the same time. Do you think Rubik's are more just trying to appeal to a generic audience rather than actual cubers? Seems like they've been ignoring the speedcubing scene for a long time. Yeah, I think so. I think they're seeing increased interest and participation in speedcubing. I think they're realistic and they know that they're not going to stop anyone using GAN or Moyu or Qi or whatever your favorite cube is. And I think they're looking for that market share. I think they're looking for that not exposure, that's the wrong word. I think they're looking for those eyeballs, and they are looking for innovative ways of getting those eyeballs, because more eyeballs means more potential customers. So that's my take. That's my take on that. It's 12:15. How long have we been online? 2.5 hours. I need to go. That's a cool story, wasn't it? I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for today. Sorry, no MSL today. Soz about it. I'm gonna try and stream some Fortnite at some point on Scart Leads. That's my other channel, by the way. It's a very, very small gaming channel that I sort of set up as a present to myself for my birthday last year. So I was like, I really want to stream gaming, but I just don't ever get the chance to. So I occasionally stream on there. So if you want to subscribe to that, and potentially at some point sometime see me streaming something somewhere, then you can do that. That was a good sell, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. No shot. Okay, Cubehead. Cubehead's getting in with the leaks. I just texted Phil and he has allowed me to tell you guys something pretty exciting. Wait. Is this actually Cubehead though? I need to confirm. I'm going to go to channel. No, it's not. Oh, for goodness sake. All right, never mind. Get out of here, Cubehead. All right, it's not Cubehead. I got trolled. Well. Well done. Well done, sir. Straight ban? What do we think? Is that a straight ban? I feel like it might be. Yeah, I think it probably is. Where's the ban button? Where's the ban hammer? Just remove. There you go. Get out of here, fake Cubehead. Where's the ban? Go to channel, report, user in timeout. Hide user on this channel. There we go. Get out of here, punk. Oh, well, never mind. That is devastating. I was literally taught. That's so cringe. Oh, I can't believe I got. Cannot believe I got. He was quite convincing. He was very convincing. Well done. Well done. All right. On that note, I am definitely going to go now. Hey, thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Whoa! Jesus. Relax. Did I just mute myself? What did I just... Oh, no, there it is. Well, I've got 2 mics on this channel. What? Oh, that's annoyed me. Never mind. Right, head to SpeedCube Shop, everyone. Use code Cubecast and save 5% on all the good things that you want to buy from SpeedCube Shop. Oh, yeah. Go to Cubing Life Academy. Use code Cubecast to save 5%. Y'all go to speedcube.co.nz if you're in New Zealand and Australia, and you can save 5% there too. Okay. Is it 5 or is it 10? I can't remember. Try it out. See what happens. Cube Sauce, you can buy that there. You know what else? You can buy Cube Sauce at speedcubing.org in the UK. You can buy it at Crafty Cube in Australia. And, of course, exciting new sponsor today outside the cubing world. We love it. We love the support. We see you, G Fuel. We love you. Use code... Oh, shoot, what was it again? Mike something. Dang it. I'm gonna have to go to my own channel and find my link. I haven't prepped for this properly yet. Wait. We need to go to, you need to go to gfuel.com and use code Mike 32314. 32314. Mike 32314 at gfuel.com. And you can save 20%. 20? You heard me. You can save 20% at gfuel.com. Why not treat yourself to the G Fuel collector's box with the shaky shake and the powder there as well. The tutti frutti flavor, that is a caffeinated one. So if you're check what the laws are in your country before you go buying that and blaming me. All right, I don't want you getting off your chops on caffeine and for it to be my problem. All right, I don't need that. Okay. Well, if nothing else, that'll be a good clip. Me getting trolled by not Cubehead. That's so embarrassing. All right, I'm going to go, everyone. I love your work, and I will see you same time, pretty much, next week, almost certainly. Thank you to all the channel members. You'll get all the VODs before everyone else. All right, peace, everyone. Bye.